impressionnante dans les Alpes.
Is he on the run of his life?
Vertical descents lined with roots in the Dolomites.
No room for mistakes today.
Des secteurs avec des pierres pouvant casser votre vélo aux États-Unis.
Oh, how did he save that?
But there is one track that stands above them all.
Depuis plus de 3 décennies, la Coupe du Monde fait son pèlerinage ici au Québec, dans son temple de la vitesse.
Mont-Sainte-Anne. Only the very, very fastest win here.
Seuls les courageux s'en sortent et les légendes perdurent.
This is where champions come to be crowned.
C'est à Mont-Sainte-Anne pour la dernière manche de l'année.
Well, hello and welcome everyone. This is it, the big one, Downhill's big day. Finals day in Mont-Sainte-Anne, in Quebec, in Canada. It doesn't get any more exciting than this. A venue we've been coming to for over 3 decades is set to decide the elite men's title. The elite women's has already been wrapped up, but there is a second place battle that should boil over nicely. My name is Rick McLaughlin. Joining me in the booth as we get ready for the women's semi-finals, Cedric Gracia. Cedric, it's a different game today, isn't it?
Different game. Hello everyone, bienvenue. They're going to be a big one today, like you say. Second and third place is going to be all down to the line of the final today.
Yeah, well, let's have a look at the schedule and see how it shapes up. Downhill semi-finals for the elite women getting us underway at 4:45 Central European time. Then from 7 o'clock on the elite women's final, 8 o'clock downhill men's final. 4 riders going for an overall title. Tomorrow, all about cross-country Olympic, men under 23 getting us underway at 3 o'clock Central European time, and then the elites on track from 7 o'clock. Some big weather predicted for that one. For now, it's behaving itself. Things are holding up. This track in Mont-Sainte-Anne in arguably the best condition I think we've ever seen it. They've done so much work here. You've ridden it.
Yes, the track been worked on, like new parts is perfect. They mix some of the corner with a little bit of dirt and concrete and just to let the moist do the job at overnight. But track is really challenging, like those wood section, especially those rock section. The 2 last rock section, just like really hard to get the line, you know, when you tired and cross-eyed.
Well, let's find out who we're going to be talking about today then. Valentina Hall has an unassailable lead in the overall, but it is her last race for that team. RockShox Trek race team, and you do get the feeling she'd like to go out with a win.
Yes, you want to, you know. This is game on.
Nina Hoffman, she's done well here in the past. She's won in Andorra earlier in the year, and if she wants to take second place in the overall today, she needs to finish higher than this woman. Marine Caballero, Scott Factory Downhill, has won the last 2 rounds. Winning in Mont-Sainte-Anne, though, a very, very different thing. Can she do it for the first time today? Monika Hrasnik loves the technicality, loves the physical challenge of this track, has been riding well all year long. Can she cap it off with a win? Tanny Seagrave, what a comeback story this one has been. She's been on the podium throughout this season. She'd love to finish it by getting her 9th UCI World Cup win. As I said then, all to play for that second place, and the calculators can be put away mercifully for this one because it's dead simple. Whoever finishes higher between Hoffman and Caballero will take that second place the way things stand at the minute. Just 29 points the difference between them. Then it's Rasnik, Balange, Seagrave, Hemstreet, Afferton. Blewett, Gloria Scarzy, 13th. She hasn't done them all, but whenever she has been extremely impressive. Sharna Hearn's in there as well. In 17th, Ferguson 18th, Hattie Harnden in 19th place. Trek Factory Racing. Well, they are getting ready to go.
It's getting crowded there, like always it is in Mont-Sainte-Anne, you know, for so many years, like the public is just waiting for this race.
Yep, let's check out then the battle for second place.
You have to keep that bike rolling now.
She's in the grid. Cameroon going in fast here in Snowshoe, West Virginia. Is it going to be fast enough to take the win?
Oh, yeah.
Does the big triple she did back in 19. Marine Cameroon goes fastest in Snowshoe.
The win in Snowshoe was really amazing for me because when I wake up in the morning, I feel really like, oh, the track is a bit dangerous. I don't want to be injured again, so I will try to ride fast, but don't want to take big risks. So I try to ride at my best. I have a good run. I did some little mistake, but I think everybody did some mistake on this kind of track. And I was really happy to get the first place when I crossed the finish line. And when I see the valley run, it was also tight. So I was really happy to take the win.
Yeah, Snowshoe been a tough race. The track's just tough and dangerous, and I had a pretty big crash in semi-finals.
Oh no!
Oh boy.
Hoffman's down. Hoffman's down at the top of the woods.
I had a big struggle to get my head together to put down a good run. Pretty stoked actually that I was able to. Obviously I was not going for a win, like the hunger for a win was a bit missing after that crash. But still stoked that I got a second place. In the end, but gutted that it was just 0.3 of the win. But I mean, that's racing, that's okay. And yeah, just makes it more exciting for this round now. I definitely need to beat Marine here to check my second place in the overall, and I do want to do this. It's gonna be tough because Marine is on a high. Marine has 2 wins in her pocket now, and it's gonna carry her into this race and keeps her up. But I think I can still do it if I get it all together, and I'm actually pretty stoked how the track looks and keen to race and keen for the last race of the season and to finish it.
Every year it's faster, everybody rides faster every year, so it's really amazing and it's really cool to see the girl sport improving like that. And for sure we need to ride faster every time and everybody wants to win, so we have to fight for the win and to ride faster. So yeah, I think now I'm back and I'm ready for the fight is last weekend.
Yeah, track here Mont-Sainte-Anne is quite long, it's like 5 minutes last year. Gonna be slightly shorter this year, but not much. And also quite high speed in some sections, really rocky at the end, so it's hard for your hands. In general, quite fun. If you get it together and you get the flow, it's a good track and good fun.
I really like this track, it's a really good one, especially this year. There is a new part which looks really crazy and really amazing to ride. I can't wait to ride them. It's a place I really like to ride. It's always special to be here.
I'm definitely happy where I am, especially how the season started, and now I'm sitting in the second in the overall. That is pretty good. So I'm definitely keen to defend that one and take it home.
I hope I can do 3 in a row. That will be amazing to end the season and give me full confidence for next season. It's a goal to win another one after the 2 last wins, so I hope I can do that, but we will see. I think everybody is ready for the battle and everybody wants to win, so it will be a difficult one.
Look at that, they broke the mold.
Well, they definitely broke the mold when they made the 2 of these riders. Cameroon plays Hoffman. 6 podiums each this season gives you a clue to how close they have been. A 3rd and a 2nd place here between them. Absolutely nothing to choose between Marine Cameroon and Nina Hoffman. Scott Downhill Factory, Santa Cruz Syndicate. And we have a bit of news for you. It has just started bucketing down here in Mont-Sainte-Anne. Well, Cedric, there's one saying in downhill, one thing is guaranteed, it will rain in Mont-Sainte-Anne, and it is raining out there at the minute.
Let me tell you, I think all those races I did here, I think I did it in the rain and always practice it in the dry. Well, I guess that's what it is.
Let's have a look at the track then. Talk us down this one, CG.
Out of the gate, rock section right away. We getting into the switchback, high speed, and the first wood section right there. Really high speed as well, but a little bit broken now. We across the first ski slope, and now the long wood section, really kind of awkward and slow. High speed, high speed, high speed, and the 2 last, rock garden, where I think a lot of things are going to happen today. Just like they've been there forever, there's no dirt left. It's hard.
Well, here's how you get on course.
Welcome to Mont-Sainte-Anne. Last round of the World Cup. Today it's sunny. Let's send it. Let's go, go. Well, legendary been made. Big rock garden right out of the gate. Different lines, I guess, here. Little double. Wow! Pretty moist still. Different line inside here. And all of a sudden, it's already in the game. Already fast, couple drops here. Ooh, into the left corner. Wow! So hard to get the timing though. And now it's sand into the speed. It's fast. Oh, it's fast. And the first wood section, woo, it's coming now. Big holes everywhere. You can see the track already a little bit going to be worse. Woo! Kind of fresh so far, but you can see some moist area, big jump, big compression. Oh, hard to get upper line there. Fresh air still. Now here we have to stay on the top. Woohoo! Big drop, it's a lot tighter here and not much light. Hard to carry the momentum there. Oh. Through the speed time. They tried to follow that head. Woo! Big step up. Oh, dusty. Look how much dust it is already. Oh, big drop. Ooh. Oh, that corner is already destroyed. Oh, he's pulling at me. He's pulling at me. Oh, I'm going to go outside the track. But if it rain, it'll be a different story. Oh, oh, big banana. Be careful. Ton of rocks under those beautiful grass. I guess inside line here to jump. Oh, and last jump. There we go. That's a pretty run in Mont-Sainte-Anne. I'm glad I survived.
So the battle is
I'm glad.
But Bonnie Hollow with our third place.
Well, hello everyone, welcome to the UCI Downhill World Cup Finals from Mont-Sainte-Anne. My name is Rick McLaughlin. Joining me in the booth, the man you've just seen on course, Cedric Gracia, as it is raining in Mont-Sainte-Anne, Quebec. As if this wasn't an intimidating place enough.
Downhill World Cup. We are going to go in.
It has just got very, very wet. CG, different place in the rain, isn't it, as we look at the start list here?
Different place. Definitely is going to be a little bit slower, but maybe a little bit safer in terms of speed. But bike is going to go sideways on the rock section.
Nothing is more guaranteed than rain in Mont-Sainte-Anne. So here's our start list then. The business end of things. Rasnik, Jonset, Seagrave, Hoffman and Cabarrou. That battle for second place in the overall comes down to who finishes faster between them. Valentina Hull, fastest in qualifying yesterday. So that's towards the finals. That title will be decided, but the top three protected. Really been the class of the field this season. We're getting ready for the semi-final, where we will take 10 plus any of the protected riders outside of that through to the finals later on today. Just having to check myself a wee bit. This is exciting. Finals, Mont-Sainte-Anne.
Well, we have a nice window outside. Looked like the rain just stopped at the bottom, but it was quite heavy rain. But it didn't rain for a long time here. I don't know if the terrain will suck the rain or it would just be a river.
Yeah, I mean, forecast rain for today, 17 degrees Celsius, humidity 88%. I mean, it's been so dry and dusty all week long here in Mont-Sainte-Anne, which is not something we get to actually put in the same sentence very often, but a little bit of rain might actually help it.
I think so too. I think the critical would be maybe if it's windy to have all those leaves on the track and you're not going to be able to see the line maybe. I heard they have some blowers at the top just to take the leaves, but if the leaves are wet, they're not going to get out of the line. You need to rack it.
I know, unbelievably, the trackside photographers have actually been really happy and enthusiastic this week, which is rare for them, but given the amount of just beautiful colours and shots. But here is Phoebe Gale there for Canyon Collective FMD as we get the UCI World Cup finals underway in Mont-Sainte-Anne. Gale, youngster from the UK, her first elite level season. She's been great this year. She's been on podiums this year. Can she get on one at the very last time of asking? You can just see the top here, Cedric. It looks wet up there.
Yeah, it's wet, and those rocks, like, you know, like, it looks like a little bit of marble, and she definitely have the right kit today. Like all white. When you enter this wood section, I think it should be okay because it's still a really hard park. You have a good speed, but those rocks, when they start to be shiny like this, hello, be careful.
Yeah, it's that really the bottom two rock sections as well. They can get so slick, and we've seen some big crashes in there over the years.
Yeah, and you can see the tires, you know, they have a little bit on that, but not too much. I think should be okay. Just like the open part at the top, be careful, high speed, and I think that's where I can see some critical moments for the riders.
Yep, Phoebe, of course, protege of Tani Seagrave, who we'll see coming up later on. She's had a really good year. And
still dry there. Sorry to interrupt you, but you see the difference.
Yeah.
Still dry there.
And we do see this in downhill sometimes whenever there's a very dry course and you get a sprinkling of rain. The problem can actually be the pickup. A lot of that dust can stick to tires, stick to the bike, and it doesn't clear like a full wet condition would. Yeah, you can see those tires looking pretty full at the minute.
And you can see the bottom part of the legs as well, you know, the dirt going into the pants, like from the front wheel. Like, she's looking good, taking out the lines. She won, like, it's probably, like you say, so hard to judge the grip from one part to the other, to a shiny place into a totally kind of Val d'Isole dust.
5th in Leogang in Austria, start of the year, 2nd round for Phoebe Gale. She's had a really good time of it. 4th in Ludenviel-Peyragueux then. It's still raining, you see.
Yeah.
Further down the track, and that is the thing. Mont-Sainte-Anne, big track by modern standards as well, and we can get this localized showers in different parts of it.
I like the way she's doing, like she get out of the woods, tried to jump instead of like really hard pedals. She tried to use the terrain, the suspension to get comfortable. You do that as well, sometimes just like to get enthusiastic, you know, like let's go. You pump on the bike.
Here we go then, the Stevie Smith Memorial drop through their safety. We saw so many rims and wheels being broken in there.
That's a section I'm a little bit more concerned. You know, high speed, the rain is staying on those rocks. You know, in the woods, it is trees, it's like an umbrella, should be all right. But this, it's a lot harder there.
Really difficult track to set a bike up for as well, because these big open sections, you've got to set things up for it to be able to deal with really high speed impacts and those sudden high speed compression hits. But then whenever you head into these rock sections, you want it to soak up the slower stuff as well, and you can see just they're beginning to look marbly looking.
That's what I was talking about, the two last wood section. They've always been critical. She's taking the inside line. It's a little bit off camber, but I think that line, it's really good. But you see, like, you need to carry a lot of speed though. If not, the off camber we make you slide your back wheel.
It's looking glassy in there to me. Gale, though, as the first down, will have, if this rain keeps going, the best of the conditions.
Full commitment though, like she's still clipped in. Like you see, like the corner who used to be super easy there in the grass start to be a little bit more crazy.
Look at it through here. That top bit looks drier to me than the bit further down, as we are joined in the booth by a UCI World Champion from this track in 2019, Miriam Nicole. Is it wet out there? You look a bit sort of soggy.
Yeah, it didn't last for too long, but it's super wet already, so that's going to be interesting.
I like the tone and the voice.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting.
It's not often that people are happy to be indoors of you and I, Cedric, but I think that could have been what that voice sounded like. Miriam, this place in the wet, about as intimidating as downhill racetracks get, isn't it? Let's get Phoebe Gale down to the line then. Gale crosses the line with her benchmark time of a 5:05.364. Quali time yesterday was a 4:35.3, fastest from Valentina Hull. As we see Hattie Harnden leave the Star Hut then for Trek Factory Racing from the UK. Miriam, what's going through your head as a racer whenever it starts raining here?
Yeah, I mean, like Mont-Sainte-Anne kind of work in the rain.
9.7, sorry to interrupt you. Yeah, she's
so
motoring.
Much faster. This track is going to be tough in the wet, so we know like Harriet is super strong.
I mean, in the wet and still 51.8 kilometers an hour, it looks fast to me.
Yeah, Harriet Herndon, enduro racer by trade, cyclocross racer, cross-country racer. I think 17, 18 national championships in total in the UK for her. Heading down towards the line and heading for the fastest time in the semi-final. And Harriet Herndon crosses the line with a 4:53.926, 11.4 seconds faster than Gail. Just a reminder then, we'll take 10 plus riders protected through to the final. Sharna Hearn for the YT mob.
How hard it is, Miriam, to just start. You've been practicing all week long in the dry, and boom, rain on.
Yeah, I hope they get prepared yesterday, like imagining the track and some new lines in the wet. But this is semi, so I hope the girls are using this race to test a bit the track, the conditions, and there is no point, and they save some energy for final.
Well, 14.5 seconds down for Ahern. Would seem like maybe she's been off the bike somewhere. Look, the kit looked reasonably clean, but we'll have a closer look in a second. So things not going the Australians' way. 15.1 now at the fourth split, but is there anything, Cedric, as a racer? I mean, we've been talking about the weather arriving all week. It's been the talk of the pits. Is there anything as a racer you can do to sort of prepare for that? Or I mean, the task's the same, isn't it? Get the bike to the bottom as fast as you can.
Well, you know, there's not many options you have. You have to change the tire. You have to go anywhere, and higher spirit and better prepare you are to go and be training in the winter in those conditions is going to make a better rider today.
16.5 seconds down then for Ahern as we hit. Look how heavy it is at the top now for Lisa Baumann, one of the standout riders of this season, young riders. Baumann has got a job on here in the rain.
For me, this is the hardest part at the top, you know, when those rocks everywhere, a little bit of dirt, and it's just like the bike's going sideways, you know, it's so hard. She's 10 seconds back on split number 3.
Yeah, 5th in Ludenvielle-Peyregout, very challenging conditions there as well. Baumann, though, Miriam, really a star of the future, isn't she?
Oh yeah, I mean, like, she doesn't race so much, and she did a huge season, so I'm really pleased for her. And you can see she has a really good position, and she's super talented.
She background of cross country, right?
Yeah, exactly. Cross countries and a bit of enduro, and now she's just killing it in downhill. And for a first year, like, that's really good.
Full package.
Let's get her down the line, and Lisa Baumann rounds off a superb 2023, 15.4 seconds back. Is it hard, you guys, psychologically? I mean, rain on a goggle lens, and you see how wet it is at the top for Jenna Hastings now for Pivot Factory Racing. Psychologically, really difficult to hold it together.
Yeah,
here.
I mean, like, you have to be strong and prepared. I think, like, we all knew that, and she was really good.
Well, I think the extension of the visor, maybe with a clear lens from a goggle, will be key today when it rains like this.
Roll off is going to be so important today, so you better not forget your roll off. And yeah, but those rocks, you hit them quite straight. So if I remember good, and remember Aaron Gwynn winning in the rain,
true.
That's kind of a good track. But this year they made a change. There is a new section, and the dirt was really loamy, but that might be a bit muddy.
16.5 seconds back for Hastings, and yeah, we should also mention the late great Stevie Smith's wet weather run here, 2013. Absolutely just one of the greatest race runs of all time from one of the greatest ever riders to do it. Long live Chainsaw, we all miss him. Gloria Scarzi leaves the start hut now for Canyon.
The more relaxed you are, the better it is. Like, if you get 2 tenths on such a long track, it's even harder. So you can see all the enduro girls smashing it.
Yeah, and welcome, of course, to the UCI Mountain Bike World Cup in Mont-Sainte-Anne, Quebec, the finals, and it is a wet race as Gloria Scarzi goes down hard. The Canyon Collective rider, rain playing havoc here on the semi-finals for the elite women.
Look, she lost the front there, look, there over the rock, and boom, that...
Your line has to be so straight.
It's a big F camber in that wood section.
Michaela Parton for Resolute Racing, great qualifying performance from her, 9th place yesterday. The Fort William native will be used to a drop of rain, but this is a very, very different place.
Different place, but she's used to this weather forecast. I mean, like, you know, I guess she wake up often with some rain at home. So
yeah, I've been to Fort William. If it's raining, it means the midges will be better, but I mean, they'll still be there. as we look up through the woods, and you can see just how glassy it's looking up there.
Everything is happening on split number 3. Then it means like after the super high speed. High speed and the two like the rock section. The rock section is going to be key today.
19.5 seconds back at split 4 for Parton then. So Hattie Harnden down early, sits in the hot seat. Well, sorry, there is no hot seat, of course, for the semi. She's the fastest time so far, Hattie Harnden.
And you know, when you see them riding, they look like still fast, still comfortable. But this section at the top, so awkward to just get out of the gate, get your speed, and you know your bike is going sideways right away. And you know you're going to be under the rain until there. Until there, maybe a little bit better under the trees, but all the top. Look at all the leaves on the ground. This is going to be a factor today. This is going to be so slippery.
US national champion Anna Newkirk on track now. She's had a good year, Newkirk.
And for the tire, I wonder which tire they would take. Oh, second crash here. Like you have to hit this road fast enough to don't slide and quite straight. I would have taken the outside on this line because the inside was working good yesterday, but in the rain it is a bit tricky. So maybe some chance they will do for final.
12.2. Miriam, do you have to have those lines in your head through practice and through quali that if it does rain here, there's another option as Gracie Hemstreet for Norco Factory leaves the start hut?
Yeah, and yesterday a lot of people walked the track again and in the dry, but just like imagining some rainy line that they would have to change.
The raining scenario, you mean?
And for the tires, it's super tricky because like the mud tires on those rocks are not working good.
Hemstreet looking really, really good here.
Yeah,
9.6 seconds back though.
She looks smooth.
She took the outside.
That's the outside line you was talking about. I saw it at practice. I was thinking the inside was good, but like you said, in the dry. But today, all new line. It's raining.
We talk about it on track walk.
Yeah.
That outside is going to be key today because you can still go quite fast. It's like a bird.
9 seconds back on split number 3.
Yeah, the 18-year-old for Norco Factory Racing having a big, big year to herself. Gracie Hemstreet's impressed everyone this season. Top 10s consistently throughout the year.
You can see she's relaxed and she lets the bike move.
That's key today, isn't it? It's just being able to just relax and let it squirm around underneath you and be confident with that lack of confidence. But 50.9 kilometers an hour through the speed trap. Gracie Hemstreet heads towards the bottom of this elite women's semi-finals from Mont-Sainte-Anne, Quebec.
I love the way she leaned in that berm, like full committed. But look at the rain. Now it's raining sideways a little bit. The same than where you live, right?
It's going to be challenging for the last jump.
Yeah, really hard to jump. And when you see a rider of that level and that class not jumping means like it's really slippery before.
Yeah, maybe she done still really well and and this track is so exhausting.
Just looking down at the bike slightly, 16.9 seconds back. Yeah, maybe something just mudguard filling up full of mud there. Veronica Vidman now leaves the start hut for Continental Nuke-Proof Factory Racing.
Well, you know how fast it is on this section. Outside line there, it's 2 line, 1 in inside, 1 in outside. That big drop, it's quite pretty high when you land there.
And you carry the speed. The landing is really important because if you land too hard, you don't carry enough speed in this section. So that's really important to be really light in this landing.
It determinate all your speed, definitely.
Vidman 7th in qualifying yesterday, the Italian national champion. 5 seconds back, though she was fast at the first split, so 6/10. So Harnden's left some time up there, but...
And after she carried basically the same margin, well, I mean back, but she was still around. Like the top was really good for her.
It's in the second wood that she lost some time, and it must be super muddy now.
Is it difficult as well? We mentioned earlier on before you came in, Miriam, the pickup on the tyres as well. They fill with the sort of the dry dirt once they're wet, and then it's hard to get them to clear again. Yeah,
but this year is going to be challenging because the new section can be super muddy. So we normally don't put mud tyres in Mont-Sainte-Anne even if it rains, but this year might change because of the new section.
Second place then for Vidman so far as we go back to the top, and Monica Hrasnik leaves the start hut.
Like you say, Miriam, I think the second wood section is going to be a big factor today. You need to save your energy, ride your bike all the way there good, and try to be brilliant.
And there is many routes in the second route.
Oh, the leaves. I'm just afraid about those leaves on those rocks. Like, I mean, you know the rocks are already like slippery, but with leaves over it, whoa.
10.2 back then for Monica Hrasnik. She was second in Leger earlier on the year. A huge ride for her there, and another big day in downhill. But
and you see that, sorry Rick, but you see that corner in the grass. Usually you keep the inside, but you can see now they go straight and make the corner in the grass. They just wait to hit the grass to make the corner.
It's looking treacherous up there at the minute. We have seen some wet races over the years. It's still raining at our commentary booth at the bottom, so it might be setting in for the day. Finals may be a really different looking animal, but Hrasnik heading down towards the line for Dorval AM Commensal. So we will take 10, the fastest 10 riders plus any of the protected riders outside of that into the finals. Hrasnik not protected, but heading down towards the line now. 4th place, 11.1 seconds behind that time of Hattie Harnden. And
you can see it's more muddy than the previous year.
It's muddy, and you can see on the clothes.
Mille Jonseth leaves the start hut then. The Norwegian for Canyon Collective Factory Team.
We see different lines at the top. Some people keep the inside, some people on the outside, some people stay in the middle. I mean, they try to go where the bike go, I guess.
6th in Snowshoe, 4th in Leger, really finishing the season strongly for Jonseth.
Look at the mud flying from the back wheel. She's getting a good groove there, like comfortable.
There's still little puffs of dry dirt though, isn't there?
Yeah, that's probably hard because from the wet to the dust is going to fill up the tire. I mean, she was in the green on the split number 1, lost a lot of time on split. I mean, on the 3rd split, it's basically the second wood section, like Miriam was talking about. There's going to be a big factor today.
The second wood is super challenging with all those roots, and it's super slippery, and it's kind of flat. There is some really steep and flat section, those super physical. So you better have done some push-ups this week.
Like almost like an enduro run, because you have to carry the speed, but like she said.
We've seen Harnden go fastest, and she's an enduro rider by trade, so Jonseth has found a 2.5 seconds, but taking all the risks in the semi-finals to make it through to the finals. Mille Jonseth heads down towards the line now, 8.3 seconds back on that fastest time of Harnden. Then Vidman, Jonseth, Hastings, but it is getting wetter and wetter as Tani Seagrave leaves the start hut. Then free to go after her.
What a perfect kit set for
Canyon Collective FMD.
So good.
Oh, I love the way Tanish is riding as well, effortless.
Yeah, start. Look how dusty it is there.
Yes, and you see all the way to the pads, the knee, you know, all the when you're changing direction with the front wheel, and you have all those dirt going into your legs, and
so definitely mud tire wouldn't be a good option for this track at the moment.
Yeah,
like intermediate maybe.
Like I would stay on dry, because you can see like on the rocks, dry is better. In the dust,
she's 0.2 seconds faster at the top, Tani Seagrave. So what's the second split going to tell us? We have seen a lot of intermediate spike tires, 5.4 back, so she's lost time between 1 and 2.
That's wood number 2 again, grabbing all those riders.
But you know, again, there is no point, so it's just a point to make it to final, but there is no point to push during this run.
Yeah, it's all about finals points here today in Mont-Sainte-Anne, so you just basically want to get yourself in the big show, get into that top 10.
Exactly, and for the protected rider, definitely a run to learn the track on those conditions. You have one run basically to be like, all right, mechanics, we changed that, and let's go for final run.
Seagrave just pushing down the pedals at exactly the right point there, making that canyon grip and turn for her.
Looking good in this section. I just like the way she controlled the bike.
Then you have to keep enough speed, and it just roads pretty straight.
So she's lost another 1.4 seconds, but she's looking good here, Seagrave, actually. Well, she'll be from the back end, just sneaking out from underneath her, trying to.
That's the line today, Miriam, right? Yeah. Straight down, don't corner on those rocks, and wait for that bottom corner just to corner.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a challenge, this road, but
Miriam, would you have liked a day like this? Would you? I mean, obviously you're a racer, you want to race, but this is a very difficult day to be out there.
Yeah, I mean, like, they are so brave, but I have to say, like, I still miss this. Even this condition, I'm sure I would have done well.
I think that reflects badly on me and you, Cedric, to be honest. But
no, I mean, like, physical, this is a part I'm not missing at all, because you don't realize how exhausted they are coming into this section, into the rock one. So
almost 10 seconds back on split number 4, 51.6 kilometers an hour on the speed trap. Oh, actually really far there.
Goes for safety over there, gets it done, Seagrave. Heading down towards the line now, looking to book a place in the finals. Free to go after her.
Kept to the inside here in the rocks.
Great to see her getting back to her very best towards the end of this season. Seagrave 10.8 back, slots her in 5th, so that should be safe then for Seagrave. She'll make the final. Nina Hoffman then in a battle for 2nd place in the overall. This is a big run for Hoffman. She is protected, but she'll want a sighter. She'll want to get feel for the track.
That's quick. She looked quick, and we know she will be quick up there. She's physical. I mean, she's not going to lay down the full run, but
being physical is going to be really key today, because the track is even harder.
Miriam, what sort of percentage are these top 3 going to be digging? They know they're through to the finals. They know they don't have to risk everything, but at the same time, they want to get a feel for what this track's doing here in Mont-Sainte-Anne.
Yeah, I would say like something like 70, you know. It's just
sorry to interrupt you, 1.6 faster at the top, but she's 6 back at the second.
She's really good second wood. She hit it well. So you just have to be flowy and find these limits, but don't push them.
Here comes Hoffman down towards the Stevie Smith drop then.
That's the second, like, it's pretty good in his wood section.
Oh, tires full of mud onto that big wet rock section.
Yeah, but that corner after the Stevie Smith drop is definitely better than it was yesterday. We saw a lot of problems on juniors.
Really nicely through there, Hoffman.
Oh, when it's fast and you have to hold on the underbar, she's good. Like,
yeah,
she's
so
physical.
Strong on the bike.
She's strong.
She's really, really good at getting the wheels in a straight line, isn't she? And just opening up the brakes and letting the bike go.
So for me, there is like a second race to start after this corner. You start hitting those rocks, and it's like, okay, part 2.
Yeah, what do? Big deep breaths, try to reset, and let's go.
And look really far to don't slide on those rocks.
Oh, inside.
Oh, makes it work. Hoffman across there.
Wow.
Total commitment from the German rider.
Full on. That was impressive.
Yeah, she's testing the line, you know. She knows it's kind of working, and she can keep this one for final, which is a good point to know.
And she went full on committed, like no breaks.
She's brought it back. Let's see what the next split says. She was just a 10th off that fastest time of Harriet Harnden. So Nina Hoffman putting one together here in the semi-final. She is protected. She will go through, but she wants that 2nd place in the overall. She's 2.1 faster.
Well, that's what we saw that second. I mean, the 2 last wood section when we saw like keeping in the inside. She was like, she looked like it was a
you have to aggress these rocks and then slide on them, and she just went for it.
So Hoffman, this is coming together nicely, and this, if she can get it to the line safely, will fill her full of confidence ahead of the finals. Nina Hoffman down the line. What's the time going to be? Is it going to go fastest? Nina Hoffman crosses the line and goes fastest by 1.1 from Harriet Harnden in the semi-finals of the elite women here at the UCI Downhill World Cup finals in Mont-Sainte-Anne. Terrific run, but what can Cabarrou do?
What a run for Nina. Like, impressive. Full on committed. Oh, sliding here for Marine a little bit. Oh, but she's charging.
Yep, the French rider, she's won the last 2 rounds on the bounce.
Pedaling hard after all those berms.
Yeah, but Nina was good there. She was creating a lot of speed.
Well, I can tell you, Reece Wilson has been on, and he said you need to stress just how difficult it is with a clogged tyre here. The tyres fill up with dirt, as we can see here in the dry sections. He said it's like riding on glass wheels. It's almost impossible.
She's 1.4 back for Marine on the split number 1.
1.4 back for Cabarrou. Work to be done here after that seriously impressive run from Nina Hoffman. Still looks pretty good through that wood section though, Miriam.
Yeah, she got
stuck
I
mean,
there.
like, she got a bit stuck at the outside, and she's not pushing a lot between
Pulls
the
section.
off. Yeah, maybe she had a problem seeing properly, and it's really hard to remove your hand from the underbar. So yeah,
7.9 back for Cabarrou then.
Oh, she suffered on the last wood second, the second wood section there.
Really, really choppy, difficult conditions here in Mont-Sainte-Anne, just as we would expect it from one of the most feared racetracks in international downhill racing. Marine Caballero is on track in the semi-finals for the elite women. She's 7.9 back on the fastest time set by the woman she needs to beat today if she wants to take second in the overall standings this season.
What did that do on that second wood section? She definitely did something.
Maybe she just didn't see well, and like she wanted to push in finals. There is no point taking so much risk. You just have to make it to final.
Yeah, no points available.
So if she didn't see properly, we could see she was struggling removing a turf. It's like
10.5 back at the third now, but let's see her through this rock section. Looking good.
Definitely a good spot to take a tear-off off.
Inside again.
Great.
Yeah, it's working pretty good.
That was really good.
These top riders making the dry lines work in the wet.
Oh, you have to go full speed. You want to get out those rocks as quick as possible.
You just want to get away from them.
It means like, I'm not braking.
You can see this run is really a test for the riders. They've been practicing in the dry the whole week and they are not used to it. So it's like a first run of the week.
It's a lot of information to process as well over one run.
Yeah, like Miriam says, it's like day one on the track, really.
Yeah.
Well, we couldn't have asked for a more, let's say, complicated set of conditions here at the finals. It started raining right at the start of the semi-final session. It's been predicted big rain here all weekend. I think the worst of it is to come tonight, so we'll see if the rain sort of stabilizes and starts to behave itself, maybe for the finals. But Marine Caballero on track at the minute. The woman she needs to beat, Nina Hoffman, is currently fastest in the semis. Caballero crosses the line and goes 6th, 10.7 back on Hoffman.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a tough one, but usually when she do a bad semi-final, she's doing good in the final. We'll see if today is the case.
Here we go then. The woman who has already secured an unassailable lead in the title race, Valentina Hole, the RockShox Trek race team, leaves the start hut. It looks heavier at the top.
Oh, you see the front there. She washed out a little bit, but no, full-on commitment, no problem for Valentina, no problem.
Valentina Hole has been absolutely superb this season.
She looked fast there.
Yes, you can see
she carries speed. Yeah, she carries speed good, and I love the way she jumped on the bike, tried to feel the grip.
So relaxed. You can see how relaxed her body is.
Effortless.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at the times there. She's 0.7 faster than Hoffman at the first split for Valentina Hole.
You see the way she used those flat sections, like a little bit earlier than Marine.
I mean, like, this wood is going to be really tricky.
Yeah, it is a little river. It was a little river already in practice, in the dry, and now it's full on wet. That concrete corner is good.
At a moment, I mean, like...
But you just need to let the bike run and have the confidence in your own bike skills to be able to pick it up. And
the dirt is so perfect.
Yeah, perfect dirt in that section. She's
in the second wood now, and there is like, it's kind of flat, some rocks, roots. This one is going to be tricky.
That's the one we talked earlier, like it's more like enduro feeling to try to carry the speed.
You can see the tires clogging up with all this dry dirt already wet. It's not wet enough to clear them, and it's a really, really difficult set of circumstances. But Valentina Hole, the UCI World Champion, making the best of it, goes high there.
That section is hard there. That's hard section.
And she's so relaxed, so she can let the bike dance how it wants. It's so good to watch, because this is definitely her first run in this condition. It didn't rain for practice this morning, so it's impressive ride for a first run in this condition.
It's impressive the capability of Valentina to adapt right away. She clicks in right away. Look at that. It looked like she had 3 practicing.
Yeah.
And that is one of the key skills of downhill racing, isn't it? Is to be able to adapt to conditions as and when. She's 2.4 faster at the second split Valley Hole.
And it translates right away into a fast time.
There is no point, and she's still like going for it, but super smooth, and it's so good to watch.
We've seen, just trying to brake on that ramp, not much grip up there, plows a straight furrow across that rock section. Valentina Hole looking good here. She already has the UCI World Cup overall title in the bag. She's got the UCI World Championship stripes on her sleeves, but she wants to go out with a bang here at Mont-Sainte-Anne, 53.7 kilometers an hour through the speed trap.
She looks so good in control. The bike is working great. Look at the work of the suspension on the front, just taking all the beats.
Coming into these ropes.
Let's see her through the rock section now. Valentina Hull, 1.9 seconds. She's lost a little bit of time, but she's still nearly 2 seconds faster. Both axles dancing around underneath her, trying to go in different directions, but Hull holds it steady.
Really nicely done. Different lines than Nina and Marine, but really nicely done. Full on committed. And Speed is your friend in those wood sections.
Just as we've seen her all season long, she moves so well with the bike, doesn't she?
Like, she's like great riding.
One piece.
Yep, rider and bike in unison. So it's Hoffman, Harnden and Widman who are currently fastest in the semi-finals. 10 will go through, plus any protected outside of that. But Valentina Hull is putting a serious marker down here. 1.5 seconds faster. So she did the damage up top, and she's managing the losses lower down.
Yeah, and have enough energy as well to play some hard pedaling there after the last wood section.
Valentina Hull, she has been an absolute class act this season. Her last win was in Ludenvielle-Peyragueux. She's heading down towards a fastest time in the semi-finals here in Mont-Sainte-Anne. Valentina Hull, the Austrian, the UCI World Champion, crosses the line and goes fastest by 2.8 seconds from Nina Hoffman with a 4:49. Her fastest time in the dry yesterday, a 4:35.3. So, I mean, different racetrack today, but
sometimes, you know, Mont-Sainte-Anne can be scary how fast it is. So.
Look at the replay, look at the back of the work. Attitude, she's boom, boom. All right, let's go faster. I want more. Oh, super early here to make sure she's straight before that braking area.
Watch her through these rocks as well, just pushes through them.
Look, the vision. She's already looking at the next compression. That's what you want there.
Yeah, we saw that with Valentina Roa Sanchez yesterday in the junior women's, didn't we? The eyes just right at the top of the goggles, looking down at the whole way. But look how confident Valentina Hull was through that rock section.
Oh, the fork, like, look at that.
Start sliding, but because she had enough speed.
Yeah, speed is your friend.
There's the results then. Valentina Hull goes fastest in the elite women's semi-final by 2.8 seconds from Nina Hoffman, excuse me. Then Harnden, Widman, Johnset, Hastings, Cabarrou, who needs a big time in the finals, ahead of Hoffman, further down the rankings in 7th. Then there's Newkirk, Bowman, Ahern, Hemstreet, Harton, disappointed with that, and Scarzy.
Valley, great run, totally different conditions today. How did you have to mix up the strategy?
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough one. Like, first of all, it doesn't really matter what I do today, and then you don't get points. Like, yeah, you just try to adapt. It's hard to do a full run on totally new conditions, and it was a bit sketchy, to be honest.
For these riders today in the final, what parts are going to pose the most challenges?
Well, I feel like it's top to bottom. It's such a physical, gnarly track here. You can't really chill anywhere. All sections are key sections. Like, you need to have that average speed that wins races, and yeah, just trying to hold it together.
Well, good luck today.
Thank you.
She doesn't seem that bothered about that at all.
Well, all the way, she said from top to the bottom, but key section have to be done right. Look at the face. Yeah,
look at the eyes.
Different lens. You see, kind of pink.
Yeah, clear vision towards the finals for Valentina Hull. She was already protected. She didn't need to go that fast, but Miriam, she did.
I have a question, Miriam.
Yeah.
How many, if you was racing today, how many T-Rough you would put on?
I would have had a roll-off.
Of course, yeah.
Some of them was using T-Rough,
yeah,
but
I mean,
roll-off.
like the Oakley roll-off are the best.
Oh, no.
Because roll-off, you know, sometimes you can get some rain going into the film, and a T-Rough is a difference.
Maybe they were not ready, because like coming in at the top, like it didn't seem it was gonna rain that quick. We really hoped there were not gonna be rain today.
Well, here we are getting ready for the elite men's semi-finals in Mont-Sainte-Anne, Quebec. Gabriel Néron, a Canadian, will get us underway very shortly. Win Masters, Breeden, Kurt McDowell, Matt Walker, Lino Lehman, Sam Blenkinsop, Cruz, Brannigan, Meek, Meyer-Smith, Hogan Vila, what a season he's having. Chapelet, Inige, Dooley, Vidal, Maples, Fearon, Richie, Rude in there, still enjoying his downhill sojourn. Luke Meyer-Smith, Phil Atwill, Mark Wallace, Baptiste Piron, Jacob Jewett, Ollie Davis Vieira, Ronan Dunn, second last time out, Laurie Greenland, Menard, Walker. Danny Hart, Norton, Ahern, Tyrion, Shaw, Goldstone, Vergier, Craig, Kolb, Brosnan and Bruni, your fastest qualifiers from yesterday. Well, hello and welcome to the UCI Downhill World Cup Finals from Mont-Sainte-Anne. It's raining as Gabriel Néron, the Canadian, leaves the start hut to get us underway. Cedric, it's a different game all of a sudden in the wet, this place, isn't it?
Exactly, it's a different game, but at least those guys already have some infos from the women's. They can tell, all right, this is good for, you know, go on dry tires, or maybe more click on the compression, it's a lot slower speed, bigger impact, or I don't know, tear off, roll off, you know, all those info are important.
All the little tips and tricks employed to guarantee clear vision and do your best with grip. You can see the leaves that have fallen here all week long, just making things even more difficult again.
Exactly, I think you're totally right. That wood section at the top there is going to be maybe some problem with bigger grip, because first of all the rain, the dirt, all those rocks, and now the leaves. I mean, really hard to see where you're going when it's full on with leaves everywhere.
Yeah, and you ask any downhill racer and they would either want a fully dry race or a fully wet race. The track here in Mont-Sainte-Anne is big enough that you can get localised showers. There's a lot of tree cover, so that means that you get drier sections like this, for example, bang on cue. And all that does is fill those wet tyres full of dry dirt, and it becomes so glassy and so hard to commit.
Yeah, so hard. Like, you're getting out from super wet, going into 2 corners of dry, then filling up the tire, and you have to try to clean those tires to get the grips from the knobs, you know, so hard. This is so tagged there, and this section coming in, so hard. You have to stay really high there, 2 lines all around, doubling out the E-word. It's like 3 lines really there, but your exit speed is really important because it's really hard to carry that speed, and it's quite flat, like enduro racing. This wood section is going to be key today. Nicely done there. You need to be really active in there. It's coming 2 different lines, and the exit speed is really important to cross that ski slope there. A good spot to use maybe a tear-off or roll-off to clean your vision.
Yeah, we just talked about it during the Elite Women's semi-final with Miriam Nicole. Tear-offs, roll-offs, the different systems of clear and goggle vision could be key this afternoon as Néron heads down towards the Stevie Smith Memorial drop then.
Yeah, that corner is going to feel good today at the bottom of the Stevie Smith drop, because that corner was really dry yesterday and destroyed. Now it looks like it's a little bit more grip, but this section is going to be so fast though.
See the bike up Néron getting up to speed, shedding some of that dirt in the tires. Full commitment to that inside there. Great to see.
Oh, it's insane, the turbulence you can see, you know, and his handlebar there almost lost the grip because it's only really 1 line in that berm. But how hard it is to enter that wood section. It's like the second race started there. Oh, it's
on clips, Néron on clips.
Save that.
Crisis management in effect for the Canadian rider there. Manages to pull it off. Tips it into there superbly.
Oh, the crowd is going to be insane this afternoon there, because that's definitely a spot where to watch the race.
We've seen some big drama played out in those rocks over the years. Here's another set. If you survive them.
What do you mean? Practice already. 22 flat tire in the same rock.
Absolutely unbelievable. This place, it has stood the test of time as just being a bike eater. Néron out in the open again, and you can see how greasy and slick it looks out underneath the trees.
I guess, you know, if your products survive Mont-Sainte-Anne, you can go on the market confident.
Yeah, 100%. This place, it just eats bikes alive. Néron then over the first drop.
Looking good though, like, yeah, good run.
Over the second drop, on his way to give us our benchmark time in the Elite Men's semi-finals in a 4:22.231. So fastest time in quali yesterday, the only time under 4 minutes, a 3:57.7 from Loic Bruni. Jack Redding, what a couple of weeks this guy's having in his last UCI World Cup. Made the cut yesterday into semi-finals. The UK rider, he's been around this sport for a long time.
Yeah, and he's a rider. Oh, nicely done that. Hey, double before the corner, taking some change. He still have some stitches on the left or right leg.
Yeah, and he said that thing that all racers say, that it's fine when I'm riding. It's whenever I'm sleeping, standing, walking, any of the other inconveniences of life, it's sore, but
4 seconds back on split number 4.
He was fastest by a second
really
at
good.
the top, so...
That's what we see him doing the double in the first wood section.
Yeah, the
I can't
Yorkshireman
believe he did that.
made a tough stop.
Full committed.
As he heads down towards the line then, Jack Redding crosses the line with a 4:27.45 seconds back. Well, Jack, happy with that one as well, he should be. Thomas Ollier then for Pink Bike Racing leaves the start hut as Cedric and I are joined in the booth by a man who knows what it takes to win here because he's done it 3 times, Aaron Gwynn. Aaron, you joked yesterday you can't remember a dry race run here, Bob.
It always seems to find a way here to rain on race day, usually right about the time you're getting ready to drop in for your race run. So yeah, we're right on schedule here.
Well, it looked like you find the solution how to win a race here in the weight condition. How you manage to just go on the condition like that, long track, rocks everywhere, different kind of type of dirt. How do you manage that when you didn't practice?
Yeah, I think you just got to be able to kind of figure it out as you go. You got to be okay with things not going perfect. You know, you got this game plan.
Oh yeah, goes second
through the whole week, and then yeah, I mean when it gets to race run, it's the same for everybody, right? So you just got to find a way to win.
Here is a man trying to find a way to win. Greg Williamson, Madison Saracen factory team.
Is it going to be on the favor of the English riders today? Oh yeah, look, 1.7 on the split number 3 for Greg Williamson. 58k an hour.
Yeah, from the microclimate up in Inverness. Half a second faster at the first split, 1.7 now, 2 seconds back for G Iron, pulls a tear off there on the straight. Aaron, we talked about it with Miriam, vision so important today.
Yeah, for sure. I think I mean when it rains here, this track is pretty good. Right now it actually looks tricky because it rained a little bit and then stopped, so you kind of got that little bit of grease layer on top. But vision here is definitely always difficult because the track is so fast. There's always stuff kind of flying in your face, and you got to find a place to pull a tear off, which is usually scary here because you're always going fast and it's always rough. So
Williamson goes second, 2.6 seconds behind that first rider down. Harry Malloy now for Continental Nuke-Proof Factory Racing. This guy shouldn't be underestimated, the job he's done this season with those riders. Chris Cumming, Ronan Dunn,
yeah,
Vero Widman.
Big teammates, you know, always important, you know, to be right together, you know, motivate each other.
That's right, Malloy 3.4 back, so he found time at the top, 1.1.
And not a little bit, 1.1 at that level, that's fast. Definitely threw some big moves at the top on those open corners there, I mean, like switchback and high speed.
Yeah, and that's a good kind of sign for, I mean, I would guess the top of the track here is probably going to be some of the slipperiest stuff right now because it's all in the open. There's no trees up there. So that's usually where the water kind of sets in first. The stuff in the trees will stay dry kind of the longest because of the canopy. It's also a little softer, so it takes more time to get through there.
Malloy down the line in third, 3.3 seconds behind Neron.
What do you think as well about all those leaves now on the ground?
Yeah, yeah, if the dirt wasn't slick enough, get some water on those leaves, and that's going to be scary.
Brooke McDonald.
The Bulldog on track.
The Bulldog on track.
So nice to see him.
Yeah, had that huge back injury not so long ago and is now right back in the World Cup racing. The Kiwi.
1.4, split number 3 was quick at the top.
Yeah, 0.8 at the top as well, so he's bringing it back, Brooke here. Just checks down at the bike there.
He's unbelievable. 56.2 kilometers an hour, no problem for the Bulldog.
So cool to see him back on track here in the MSA and charging. One of those riders going to be probably, hopefully he can get her into finals here.
I think he holds the unofficial speed record down here, doesn't he, as well, about 80 kilometers an hour.
I think he holds that everywhere.
Brooke McDonald crosses the line, second place then, good run from McDonald.
There's a little bit more speed after the, you know, the last split time, 1.6. He was, yeah.
You can see the tear off just the left-hand side of his helmet there for the goggles. So we are going to take 30 riders plus any protected through there, through to the finals.
I think infos are going to be important, riders to riders, to know the grip.
Yeah, for sure. I was just down there watching the women's semi at the finish line and kind of radioing up to the guys and just letting them know kind of what the course conditions look like. I think everybody always scrambles to try to figure out tire conditions and your tire choices, you know, when it's like this. Looks like Irv had a little bit of an issue up there somewhere.
12 seconds back. He clears the spot where there was so much carnage in the junior men's race yesterday safely. Aaron, whoa, big pull there for Tyler Irvin.
He landed deep on the front wheel. Wow. And after that, I just lost the rear. The rear was just swinging.
Nearly landed down at the poutine van in the finish area.
Yeah, maybe a flat tire.
Yeah, it looked like, I don't know if it was the grass or flat rear tire, but his back wheel was all over the place. Yeah.
57 kilometers an hour through the speed trap though for Irvin.
Yeah, the big launch might have been the thing that blew the tire
some air,
out.
like the back. Yeah, you see the air. It's like it's on the system now, on the Moose or whatever it is. Not the Moose because I don't have it in biking.
Basically the same thing.
You should have the Moose now in
there are a
mountain
few
biking.
moose knocking around here, but it's a different type of moose.
La Moose.
Yeah, bummer to see this from Tyler. It's this is a really cool story with this kid. I get to ride with him quite a bit at home. Spends a lot of time in Tennessee in the off season, and I was chatting with his mom the other day, and just one of those guys that's like truly doing the privateer thing, getting himself to the races every year, just figuring out a way to get there, and just constantly making these small improvements. And now he's a guy that can challenge to get into World Cup finals. Like I can't explain how difficult it is to do that in that position. So to kind of just have the drive to keep pushing forward, kind of when you just got to do everything on yourself, you got minimal help. And so yeah, bummer to see this here, but really cool season for him. Good to see the progress.
I tell you, if you can ride down this track with a flat tire and look as good as that, Tyler Irvin crosses the line in 7th place. Absolutely no shame in that whatsoever.
Exactly, and he jumped that last double so easy.
Well, another Scottish rider now who'll be well used to the conditions, Jamie Edmondson for the Chile Racing Brigade, told me earlier on the week it's just one of those places that you've just got to be comfortable with your bike not feeling great, just not feeling right, because there's no right way to set it up here. 1.1 seconds faster at the first split, 5 seconds back now at 4.
Everything is happening again, like Miriam was saying, on the second wood section, like the new wood section. It's going to be really tricky. It's hard to keep the speed. Then today, really hard to qualify to the final today. I mean...
Well, we talked about flat tires a second ago. Report in from the bottom. Josh Carson has just passed on the information that Valentina Hole actually crossed that semi-final line with a flat tire. So
then on the last 2 wood section, I guess that's where I can see it happen.
Jacob Dixon then for MS Mondraker, young man from County Down. He'll be well used to these conditions, I can tell you, because I grew up in them.
He's
Dixon looking good.
Oh, he's moving. What?
Oh, yeah.
Again.
There we go. The double.
It's even hard in the drive.
Look at the time, 6.4 seconds faster at the 4th split for Dixon.
Here we go.
The speed don't lie.
Yeah, right. He'll be well used to the damp leaves, the wet conditions.
Wow, so comfortable. He was going so
Dixon,
fast.
this has played into his ballpark today. Jacob Dixon down towards the line. What a semi-finals run from Jacob Dixon. 5.8 seconds faster than Gabriel Neron.
Roll off. Using a roller.
Win Masters then for GT Continental Factory Racing. Been around this sport a long time, the Kiwi.
So hard to get that first straightaway out again, Aaron. What line here? Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's
really nibbly from the start, isn't it?
Straight into it. Lots of little pedal catchers and things that catch you out.
5 seconds
good
back.
to see Win back on track and kind of getting up to speed. I was chatting with him the other day too, and I'm like, man, I mean, he had such a big crash to start the year off in Switzerland, and he's like, yeah, it's really hard just to get back to full speed now. You know, you can be just a tick off, and then this, you know, in this sport, that just adds up to seconds at the bottom. He said he's just now starting to kind of find his flow again, and I could tell in practice he's starting to look good again. I bet he'd like to have a couple more races here to kind of really get into the groove, but just good to see him back and charging.
Oh, he's definitely charging. He got some time back a little bit at the end of it.
When Masters goes second fastest behind Dixon, well, if that time with Dixon wasn't impressive enough, I've just heard from the bottom, crossed the line with a flat front tire.
Yeah, it was, I think the 2 last wood section is where you definitely get a grab.
Yes.
Joe Braden for Intense Factory
Racing.
Racing.
There was.
You see that double there?
We spotted that one first day of track walk when I was out there watching practice. They sent the video up. I'm like, hey, there's a little triple here if you want it. Ah, man, it looks like he must have had an issue in the second
12.9 back
split.
for Braden, yeah, on Intense Factory Racing, of course, Aaron's team. Joe, it's just been the speed's there, Aaron, isn't it? It's just been a frustrating season for him.
Yeah, one of the most like naturally talented bike riders I've ever seen. Like he does certain lines and things. I mean, like you could just see out of the start gate where he triples that right in the mud, no big deal. Just has really struggled to kind of put it together. I know he has a hard time with his arms right now. He had a big injury last year. Kind of blew his elbow out, and it's been a lot of rehab to try to get back to strength, especially with that upper body. And these long physical tracks, I know he struggles towards the bottom to hold on. So I think for him, it's just time, get the body strong again and just kind of keep moving forward. So he's had some really good moments this year, so hopefully have a good off season and just kind of get back on track next year.
Joe Breeden crossed the line in 10th then, 14.7 back for the man from the southwest of England. Kirk McDowell, the Canadian.
Oh, see the noise? You could hear the noise of the back wheel, like kind of strange noise out of the gate.
Is it true that this guy is one of the engineers at Norco? Like he actually works there, and then he just decides to come out and race a World Cup for fun?
That's pretty awesome to be an engineer to ride at that level. You know what you're talking about, too.
Yeah, that's what they call
you can back up the numbers there.
I just heard that yesterday. I was like, no way, just come out here, race a World Cup on your own bike.
Exactly, he's got a safe job behind the computer. He doesn't need to be out there doing this.
Yeah, but how cool it is to be able to talk to the engineer when you ride at that level, and he will click in when you say something too in terms of numbers and...
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's got to be a huge advantage for those guys. This looks like a great run too.
Yeah, good run down the line, 5th place, so 8 seconds back. Jacob Dixon has put down an absolute stormer there of a 4:16. Here comes Matt Walker.
How hard it is when your engineer beat you in the team.
Matt Walker, well, there's not many people doing more racing than him and Eddie Masters for Pivot Factory Racing.
He's fighting to clip again, but this guy can ride any bike at the full speed.
Yeah, he's had good results in enduro, downhill, kind of does everything.
Yeah, won the 5th round of the Enduro World Cup earlier on this season after a long time of asking. One of the most popular wins in that format in a long, long time. Matt's been up there, nearly won a couple of them, but finally got the job done this year. 58.7 kilometers an hour through the speed trap.
Got that inside line. There's kind of 3 options through that last rock section. They're all a little sketchy. But
told me last week he's looking forward to the off-season. 4th place for Walker. He said, I have a policy of no bikes till after Christmas.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow.
Leo Lehman on that Gamex Factory Racing. Big bike. The back end of it's only just left the start hut there now.
That bike was impressive, you know, like when you're on the side of the track.
Yeah, Mike Leon Hooter in the junior men's, actually, we saw him yesterday, and it's a sort of an old school approach in that the thing hugs the ground. Really, Cedric, your sort of era of racing, that's how they like the bikes to set up, wasn't it?
Remind me of Nancy Lotti kind of shape when he's on the track. 56.6 kilometers an hour. I'm still impressed how fast, you know, and there goes. Like the 11th second back on the split number 4.
So it has stopped raining for the time being. You never like to say that out loud just in case it starts again, but it has stopped raining for the time being. Aaron, if you're up there at the top, you kind of wanted to keep going, do you, I guess?
Yeah, it kind of needs to make its mind up. Like either really rain or just stop. But kind of when it goes on and off and in the middle, the track never gets a chance to like soften up, so it just stays hard packed with that little grease layer on top. It's kind of the sketchiest of all the conditions, so kind of just feeling it out.
12th place for Lehman, Sam Blenkinsop. Well, expect to see a bit of style from this man in the loose conditions.
What do you think, Aaron? Full on mud tire or still on dry?
I think I would kind of be on probably some sort of hybrid tire, like either a dry tire or kind of that in between. I don't think I'd go to a full mud tire yet. I don't think that the dirt is soft enough to really dig into that.
4.4 seconds back at, sorry to interrupt you, Aaron, for Blenky at the minute.
Yeah, good one. Sam was a top 10 here last year, if I'm not mistaken. I think he got 8th here. Yeah, always rides this track good.
You are correct in that assertion. He got 8th here last year.
Yeah.
You win the pub quiz.
Yeah.
Sam Blenkinsop heading down to the line, getting those pedal strokes in wherever he can. Blenkinsop then a top 10 rider here in the past, goes second behind Jacob Dixon. Getting it done, 4.1 seconds on that Crestline bike.
That should do it.
Yeah, I think so.
Lucas Cruz leaves the start hut, but Cedric, I mean, we just talked about Sam Blenkinsop going well here. Experience on this track and in these mixed conditions, pivotal today.
He's good all-around bike. When you see him practice, always have new lines. He's just impressive. Look at that on split number 3 for Lucas Cruz.
He's
in the green now.
0.9 seconds now.
That's 57.2 kilometers an hour.
Second found for Lucas Cruz. The Canadian backs her in to the left-hander, right-hander, excuse me.
Oh, he's moving really quick there. Maybe.
Whoa. Scrubs off there. Cruz heading down towards the line. What can he stop the clock at? Cruz goes fastest with a 4:14. 2.3 seconds faster than Dixon, so he really extended in that bottom section.
He's showing his arm.
The Canadian national champion enjoyed that one as well, he might. George Brannigan now.
So everyone have a different line at the start. It's so hard to pick up which one is the best. That wood section, how do you do there? Like if you put the spike tires or like, I mean, you're going to slide for sure, but in any tires today. But wow, this is going to be a key point as well when you know like maybe the tire will be good at the top and there a little bit more sketch, but.
Yeah, that is a bit of the problem here. Is there is some soft stuff where maybe as it starts to soften up, you might put a mud spike on and it might be good there. But when you get to the bottom part of this track, there's just no more dirt left. It's all rock. And as you know, Cedric, when you take a mud spike onto wet rocks, it's about the worst thing you could possibly ride.
Well, and as well, if you want to have the he wasn't inside there, but you know, like it was 2 Campan before those mud tires. Like the really hard one was horrible, but good in the grass.
Yep.
Brannigan heading down towards the line then. The flying Kiwi crosses the line into 15th position. So as ever in the semi-finals, we're just waiting to see what that bubble time is going to look like. Toby Meek for MS Mondraker leaves the Star Hut, another Kiwi. Yeah, we're just waiting to see what time develops as the time that we think is going to be the sort of cut point into the drop zone for the top 30. Rattles a pole on the way through there.
Definitely the best line there. You don't want to jump too far into that big bend on the left. You want to land high, like Aaron said, try to open up that corner and get some exit speed.
One thing we are definitely seeing here, though, is that once it starts moving away from you, Mont-Sainte-Anne, it's very, very difficult to go faster.
Yeah, 100%. Looks like he might have a flat tire here, but something happening in that second split. It seems like a lot of riders are kind of in touch at the top, and then all of a sudden there's just a big gap back at the second split. Might be that fresh section.
Yeah,
Cedric is getting a little loose.
That's a new, because the split is just after. The second wood section is going to catch a lot of people. You know, like the super tight one with that flat in the middle, roots everywhere.
There he is, Meek at the finish line then. Next up, Remy Meyer-Smith, the young Australian. One of those riders that you kind of think that it doesn't matter what the conditions are doing, this guy will just throw it all at the wall and see what sticks. 3.3 seconds at the fourth split.
Right now.
Yeah, one of those guys, you're just waiting for that breakout rod. He had a little bit of one at US Open a couple weeks ago, finished right there in touch with Menard and Jackson and Dakota, all the big dogs. Just a matter of time, I think, till we see this kid on a podium someday.
Yep, finished ahead of his brother, Luke Meyer-Smith. At that race, third fastest here. Giant Factory off-road team with that new race kit for the last race of the year. Simon Chapelet then, Cube Factory Racing. Cedric, you talked to him yesterday. You talked to him a lot in French, so I didn't really understand what you were saying. What were you chatting about?
Chatting about that lining inside of the big rock section. You either go to the left and cut down Camber Big Rock, or you keep it inside like Greg was doing, and I'm like, it's worth doing it. Inside, you know, like for plan B if it rains, and I hope he did it, because you need to try all the options. You went down.
Chapelet, down hard.
Yeah, on those rocks too. Like,
That's the section where we were just talking about. We think some of these problems have been happening. You can see that rock right as he leaned in, that's shiny. And then there's a rock kind of right in the berm too, so there's just nowhere for the bike to hook up into the dirt.
Oh, I hope he didn't hit that rock with his hip, because the rock's all over the place.
19th of Val de Sole, but here's Matteo Inighe.
It is those kind of guys, you know, like those Frenchies, Matteo Inighe, Estac, on those conditions. They're like, and look at that. He's in touch on split number 2.
Inigé's in touch here, 0.7 seconds back at the second split as he heads down towards the Stevie Smith drop.
They offer me to go on a team camp with them just to get back to speed a little bit. I don't know if I would take that invitation.
I don't know if that one's going to help anyone, to be honest, but any guess.
Wow, look at that, the fast, like he's holding on. I love it. The way he places his body, you see the ankles, just dropping the ankles to get better grip, you know, in his braking zone.
He has been a rider who's grown in stature really all season long, and very, very difficult to do, just as we see with the Swiss in cross country, to stand out amongst the French downhill riders. So difficult, such is the depth of competition, but Matteo Inigé's getting there.
The inside line I was talking about.
Look at all the mud on those rocks as well now, getting pulled over.
I love that line. I don't know if it's a faster, but for me it was the simple.
Yeah, that looked really good through there. Got those 2 gaps.
Inigé's then, on a good run here.
Can he gap in that last wood section? We all know about that big double was open a couple of years ago by Greg Minard.
Right there, there it is.
Yeah, there's glory up there for anybody who wants to take the risk.
Yeah.
56 kilometers an hour through the speed trap, so he's lost time. It's looked good, but he's lost time.
Yeah, a lot of time. 3.3 on the split number 4.
Wherever he lost it, I couldn't see it. This has looked great from Matteo Inigé's.
Yeah, hopefully he's keeping air in the tires. I think you get towards the bottom of this too, really fitness kind of starts to come in, the upper body, the hands, everything gets so blown out here. Might be just trying to get it home safe.
Yeah, but it looks like,
home safe down the line in 3rd place, so 3.3 back.
It's always hard to know if they have, you know, like a flat tire because they're sliding so much on the back.
Austin Dooley from the USFA on track now.
Come on, boy. One of my guys I ride with a lot back home. Another kid that just sort of slowly worked his way up.
Well, we're here in the UCI Downhill World Cup finals.
Oh, he did good on the split number 3, and it means like after that new wood section, he was great there. Lost a lot of time on split number 4.
It's the semi-finals for the elite men. There's a title on the line later on this afternoon, but we've got to take the 30 fastest riders plus any protected riders outside of that through to it. So Austin Dooley from the USA on track now, heads down towards the finish line, crosses the line, goes 5th from Dooley. Aaron nods in approval. He'll be happy with that one.
Yeah, I think that'll get the job done. I think that bubble's probably going to be just behind that somewhere, if I were to guess.
Well, Antoine Vidal has been steadily working his way through Commencal-les-Ors reserves of spare wheels this weekend.
Okay, that kid, if he rides the way he knows how to ride, it can be dangerous on those conditions.
Yeah, definitely one of those guys. Oh, there was the gap. Nice.
0.6 seconds in touch at the 3rd split, but that pulls that big gap. 2.4 back though.
Yeah, 59k an hour.
Oh, that was a sighter for finals, wasn't it?
Wow, he went for it.
Well, he's Antoine Vidal, that's kind of his thing.
He's Euro champion.
Got it clean too, it's nice.
Yep, the European champion then. We are seeing time found at the top of this track, but it's so difficult in those 2nd and 3rd splits to hold on to it. Vidal moves down towards the finish area now, goes 3rd. Lucas Cruz currently fastest, then it's Jacob Dixon. Great runs from both of them. Dylan Maples. Looked like he just struggled for traction slightly out of the gate there, Cedric.
Yes, we saw it with Aaron. Like the first crank was not the best. It's probably wet a little bit. Yeah, something you definitely have to pay attention. Oh, he's
got his attention.
Slick up here. This top stuff's really hard. That top section gets better if it's a lot. Oh yeah, he's in touch here.
0.1 seconds. So his last wild card race off the foreseeable for Muck-Off. Commencal by riding Addiction, a fairy tale story, but he'll want to go out impressing everyone just as he has done the last 2 or 3. Dylan Maples.
I love the way he was pedaling really hard on that little flat section today. You know, you cannot cruise there.
I love the fact that they've changed things up a bit and they've got a wild card rider in, but he's a wild card rider who's exactly in the mold of their other riders.
Totally looks just like their other top guys.
Maples goes 2nd, 0.8 seconds, crashes over the line. Well, if you're going to crash anywhere,
that's a safe spot to crash.
Yeah, boy.
Big smile as always. Great to see Dylan Maples. For Forbidden Synthesis team, flat pedals. may just be the ticket for these difficult conditions. Not clipped in like basically all of the other top runners.
That guy as well, with the skills he has. I mean, on flats, for me, he's always flying. He's so technical too, and he was in touch too. Spin number 3 in touch.
Yeah, so impressive to see. I don't know how he keeps his feet on with flat pedals.
Especially on those rock sections there.
Yeah.
Here we are then, the UCI World Cup Finals, semi-finals for the elite men. Conor Fearon on track. I just saw a puff of something from that rear wheel there.
Oh, get it across the finish line.
Oh, fair play, Conor.
At the bottom of the last wood section, it just like his tire pop out. Definitely a rub there.
Crazy riding to be able to save that one.
Rude now, the beast from the east, is on track. The Enduro World Cup overall title winner for Yeti.
If someone can do it, it's him.
Richard.
If anyone can put a run together here, the Enduro World Cup overall title winner, used to being out on those long days on the Enduro bike, and he's not 0.8 seconds faster at the third split.
Yeah, I got to keep airing those tires. Richie had a good result again yesterday. Qualified with the flat tire.
Last wood again.
Just sitting up slightly there. Hopefully there's no problems now, but Richie Rude, if he could get this into the finals to back up that performance in snowshoe last weekend, just one of the most versatile all-round mountain bike racers of all time. You really have to say it. Rude over that final double in, heads down towards the line. Richie Rude, third place with a 4:15.8, 1.7 back off Cruz, but that should do it.
Yeah, great ride.
See, that extension on the visor, he had an extra lens for the rain.
Tahuto Enrique Penne, the New Zealander, on course now.
Yeah, vision's so tricky on this track. You run that extended visor. Yeah, this is looking good too.
A 1/10 of a second back at the third split for Tahuto Enrique Penne.
He's getting faster and faster.
Yeah.
There's that big
extended big. It landed after that
perfectly.
After that big rocks, and a lot of people are kissing front wheel and back wheel. Look at this time of sprint number 4 in touch, 58 kilometers an hour.
The camera flatters that one slightly, but it's a big pull, isn't it?
Yeah, that is a big one. It's completely blind. You come in turning. The lip is not smooth. It's got a big kicker on it. You just got to kind of commit and go for it.
Oh, so good. He was on the inside of that big step up there.
Yeah, really hoping he can back this up in finals. He's got so much talent.
He deserves it. Second place, 0.3 of a second back behind Lucas Cruz. So it's Cruz, Penne, Maples, your top 3 in the semi-final. Jackson Connolly for Team High Country had an absolutely fantastic time of it in Snowshoe, West Virginia. The Australian 4 seconds back though by our clocks in the booth here at the third split.
So hard to get those lines. You've been practicing all week long in the dry, and now it's another game again. First run in this kind of wet condition for those guys.
Can you overthink it in the wet?
Yeah, I think, you know, you can try to plan, you can try to set your bike up, you can make changes, you can think through like, where's the lines going to change, what do I want to do? But at the end of the day, the track is just going to kind of throw whatever it has at you, and you just kind of got to be able to adapt on the go. I don't know, I always find comfort in just thinking like it's same for everybody. It looks like he has a problem
Maybe
here.
a flat or something, because he was breaking a lot, or something is happening there.
Maybe a front flat, maybe, is it?
Yeah,
front flat.
Yeah, Jackson Connolly, disappointment then for the Australian.
It's hard to see with it. Oh, both, no? No.
That's the front's gone. 13.3, it's both.
Double, I think, front and rear.
Well, here is Luke Meyer-Smith, Giant Factory Off-Road Team, the Australian national champion. Meyer-Smith brothers having a great time of it in 2023. Whoa! Big gap there for Luke Meyer-Smith.
Oh, they send it back and they look like they're cleaning it a lot better than practice.
7.3 seconds back though at 4, so something hasn't gone his way up there.
I love the position. Elbows out, try to find the grip there in the inside. That's your line, Aaron.
Yeah, expecting big things out of Luke. He started the season so strong. I know he had that dislocated shoulder, I think in Ludenville, probably still recovering from that, but
Luke Meyer-Smith goes 13 then for Giant Factory Off-Road.
yeah, something happened there in that second to last split. I think he knows it. looks like the rain's starting to come down a bit again too.
It's Phil Atwill now for propane positive.
People are running tear-off and some are running roll-off. What do you think, Aaron?
I am definitely a fan of the roll-offs because trying to find a tear-off when you're running through all this rough terrain and sometimes you got to sit down and pull it. I just think it's a lot easier to pull that big knob on the roll-off than trying to find a tear-off.
Do you know what we haven't seen in a long time? It's a good roll-off failure. You know, whenever like somebody crosses the line, there's a ticker tape of like...
Yeah, got 100 feet of streamer hanging off the back.
Phil
Atwill, well, eventually he's got the bike skills to survive this. It's Phil Atwill crosses the line, goes 3.7 back on that fastest time of Lucas Cruz. So again, just a reminder, 30 go through plus any protected riders outside of that.
I was always impressed about Phil, the way he's riding, his technique, and just impressive.
Your favorite rider's favorite rider.
Bike rider, yeah,
he's
definitely.
Awesome. Oh yeah, it's coming down.
Raining hard at the top again.
I do think it's moving around this hill, you know, because a couple of minutes earlier it was raining down here. It looks to have held off now, but it's got heavier again at the top. But Cedric, you've seen something else there. Well,
the leaves, the wind, I mean, it's hard enough already with the rain. The wind and the leaves over the track, it's just maybe a little bit too much.
Yeah, I feel like we're barely squeezing it in on the weather window here in Canada this time of the year. I was looking at the weather a couple days ago, and we were in the 70s the last few days, and it looked like it was just going to get colder and colder and colder. And now the next 10 days, it goes from 70s to lower 50s and rain almost every day. So I think we've got the last couple days of nice weather for the year. Now it's going to take a turn.
Second for Mark Wallace, the rider, second at the Canadian National Champs earlier in the season.
He'll be a little bummed with that potentially. Mark's always capable of a big run here in Sainte-Anne.
Baptiste Piron, though, a rider who is really growing in stature this season for Dorval and Commensal. Teammates, of course, of Benoit Coulon, who we are missing again this weekend. We wish him well.
Oh, looking good there.
That looked good through there to me.
Looks quick. He's carrying a lot of speed. It even looked like it's dry for him. Look.
Piron, 1.4 seconds at the fourth split, having been nearly 3 seconds up at the third.
That's huge.
Yeah, the Pirons know how to go fast in the rain.
Yeah, they don't hang around this family, but Baptiste Piron, 56.7 kilometers an hour through the speed trap, is on his way to going fastest here in the Elite Men's semi-finals by the look of things. Piron goes fastest by 0.9 seconds, so he did give time away towards the bottom of it, but yep, happy with it.
Definitely happy with it.
Jacob Dewitt for Pivot Factory Racing on track now, the Canadian. Big race for the Canadian riders this as well. They want this one so much, don't they, regardless of what coast they're from.
Yeah. Always something special to race at home.
Oh, down there, lost the front in the puff part too when it's dry. Probably was sliding before when on the section it was wet and he got the grip again.
Dewitt down heavily, walks off.
Yeah, weird one. That section kind of funnels you into a rut, and it's really rough in the rut. So you try to get left of the rut to stay where it's smooth, but then you're kind of on an off camber as you're braking.
Ollie Davis then.
Smacking rims already, 5 feet out of the gate.
The big Australian. Whoa, there's that big jump we saw from Nathan Davis.
He's got to hustle.
Probably one of the easiest ones.
And there's Dewitt.
Oh, queuing. You go first, I go. Should I go? You go, no, go.
There's a red flag waving, chaos up there at the minute. Davis gets past Dewitt on track. Didn't expect to find him there, Dewitt, when he arrived on site.
Big rock lane in the middle of the track right there, too. I wonder if he hit that with his front wheel.
15th in Leogang. Davis. Roger Vieira leaves the start hut.
Are you going to see some proper sand there?
Yeah, I know. I wish we had that camera coming into the rock section. I'm sure we'll have it for finals, but he's got a big huck going into that he was doing in practice. If he does that into the rain, there's another little huck.
Really neat through there.
He spent more time in the air than on the ground.
7.6 seconds back at the second split, but
big sand there.
Roger Vieira not scared at all.
There is a smooth spot off that big ski jump. If you want it bad enough and you pull up, you can make it, but it's far. That big jump he's been doing is right here out of this left-hand turn. Nope, gonna roll it.
Yeah, no.
Good call.
Yeah, it was a line before, a couple years ago, then people was jumping into the entrance of the rock section, but
that was a reach, wasn't it?
It's huge. It is huge.
Vieira, one of those riders, really, really powerful on the bike, sort of skims the ground, doesn't he?
Well, you don't feel the ground moving right now?
8.8 seconds at the third split back then, 57 kilometers an hour through there.
Yep, squashes that.
Fittingly rides for Impact Racing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
nice.
one of the nicest
perfect.
kids too. Always liked seeing this guy in the pits. He's always smiling, always a really good vibe.
He's done it the hard way, hasn't he, Vieira?
Yeah.
He's at the big races. He's done things the hard way. He's come up through the ranks. He's got on that privateer program and now a team.
Yeah, he has definitely earned his position where he's at now.
Vieira heading towards the big double drops. And down to the line for the Brazilians. So the drop zone currently, Irvin in it. Meek moves down with that result from Vieira. Now Joe Breeden on the bubble in 30th. Davide Palazzari for Rogue Racing After Skull team. Both wheels on this bike have barely pointed in the same direction all year long, so he'll be enjoying this one.
Oh, he's in touch, split number 3,
the Italian national champion then.
And gets some even better time now.
He's flying some time up there.
Yes. On the critical part too, when a lot of problem at trouble and flat tires.
You can see the big roll-off system on those goggles either side of the lens.
Yeah, I like the roll-offs. Back in the day, it was a little harder to decide because the tear-offs, when you pull a tear-off, you get a completely clear vision. The tear-off covers your entire goggle lens. Roll-offs is like a smaller little strip, has a nice time out of them.
Yeah, Fearon is an extra drop.
Yeah, as the years have gone on, these top goggle brands like 100%, Oakley, some of these brands, the roll-offs have gotten really wide. So now we can pull that thing. You get a lot of clear vision instead of a tiny little strip like we used to.
Gaetan Vige on Gen S.
I hope it's paying today for Vige because I told you last week, if everything goes good, he's such a good rider.
Oh, yeah.
He's 1.5 seconds faster at the third split. The young Frenchman, one of the nicest guys out there. 2 seconds now for Vige.
Vige is back. It took a long time for him to find. He was always such a deception at the end of the race. Like, what do I do wrong?
Spent a long time on Velo Solutions Scott with Brendan Fairclough.
Yeah, riding good. I think he had a good ride yesterday too, backing it up here. On track for a great finish this weekend. Hopefully he can hold it together for finals.
Vige goes big on the last drop. Vige over the line and goes fastest by 1.4 seconds ahead of Baptiste Piron. That's a great result for Gaetan Vige with Gen S.
Oh, he's going to be happy with that.
Max Hartenstern for Cube Factory Racing. We've already seen his teammate Simon Chapelet in the wars already in this semi-final session. But it looks like the German has been in amongst them as well, 13.5 seconds back.
Yeah, too bad because he was riding better and better for Max.
Yeah, looks like another problem in that second split up there somewhere. He's been in touch everywhere else.
The big gap.
Still go for it. And the landing is good because it's still dry.
Yeah, that's the only dry spot on the track, I guess, if you can make it.
The landing pad for the big gap is the only dry bit.
Well, big consequences too, because if you land front wheel and back wheel, you definitely can have double flat tire in one spot there.
How much time do you think that gap is worth? Is it worth it, or is there a bit of downhill showmanship in there?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. I think a lot of riders like it because it makes you commit to the section, but I stood there the other day and looked at it, and I thought if you could really push through it fast, there wasn't really much there. I think for me, it probably wouldn't be worth the risk.
Here he is, and the winner of the last UCI World Cup, Oisin O'Callaghan, for the YT mob. Young Irishman absolutely stunned the world of downhill with that result last weekend. 3.4 seconds back at the third split. Now it's 4.3, so not having as good a time here in Mont-Sainte-Anne as he did in Snowshoe. Trying to get through to the finals.
Yeah, weird one today with this semi. There's no points on the line like there normally is, so I think there is a little bit of strategy. You know, if you like, maybe you could save some energy. It is probably the roughest track of the whole year on the body, so I think some of these results are going to be a little funky in semis, and some of these guys I think will really light it up at the end.
O'Callaghan just ducked down behind the bars, didn't pedal.
Looking down on some front flat tire. There we go. Front flat. A lot of flats today. And it's lower speed.
Finn Isles, the first of our big names, big dogs.
Yeah, I think Finn is definitely on pace to potentially win this final later today. He looked pretty upset when he crossed the finish line yesterday. He was second at the first split, and I heard that he broke an axle.
Yeah, I saw the axle. Yeah, just the shred.
Yeah.
Like all of it was only 1/3 of it.
182 beats per minute, so...
Wow, 183. That's
Isles moving. He can win the overall if Bruni finishes 20th or worse,
Look,
and he wins. He won here last year.
Split number 4, it's good. Got some time.
0.7 seconds. Listen to the crowd react to Isles.
Yeah, this is impressive. Another one of those riders, he's protected for finals. He doesn't need to do this, but he's still throwing down a great run, so...
Jamie Edmondson drops the 31st into the drop zone as Finn Isles goes second. So, first of our title contenders is down. Ronan Dunn leaves the start hut. Had a big crash yesterday.
Dude. Huge crash.
Oh, yeah.
Go to his Instagram and look at that crash, and he just bounced back up. I talked to him at the finish right after, and I'm like, dude, how are you? Because he had dirt everywhere. And he's like, I feel fine. It was a hugie, though. And then I watched the video, and I was like, yeah, that's a massive crash.
Youth is a wonderful thing, Aaron. 4.9 seconds back at the third split for Ronan Dunn. Family are all here this weekend after that big second place result in Snowshoe, West Virginia last weekend. 7.2 back here, though.
Like Aaron said, it's probably everyone is going to try to qualify for sure, but get the best of a sturdy run for the final run to see, okay, well, I need to do that and that.
The man who finished ahead of him last time out, Oisin O'Callaghan, has a broken front rim, and it went as high up as the Stevie Smith drop. So that's how long he was riding around that. Dunn crosses the line in 12, 5.8 back, a 4.17. Laurie Greenland for the Santa Cruz Syndicate. He's been out of sorts in the second half of this season, but a wet Mont-Sainte-Anne may just be the tonic. Second here last year, Greenland for the Santa Cruz Syndicate.
Yeah, another rider. I was standing at the finish when he rode through yesterday, and his derailleur had completely left the chat. It was no longer on the bike. He ripped that thing clean off, and looking at the split times, I think it probably happened at the top, so I would guess he probably did his whole qualifying run without a chain or a derailleur yesterday.
Greenland just jumping his way through there, but slid out further up the track slightly, had a foot off the pedal, 14.9 back now, 54.3 kilometers an hour.
Looked like he had his chain on because he was pedaling, but...
Yeah, one of those guys, I mean, kind of protected into finals. Looks like he's just cruising, going to conserve some energy here. A little bit of strategy there. If you can take it mentally, I talked to Dakota before he dropped in, and it's like, man, you're protected for finals. If you can take, you know, potentially treat this as another practice run and just save some energy for finals, as long as you don't mind looking at the leaders board and seeing that you're 15 seconds off like this. You know, I think it might be better in the long run, potentially.
But here comes Greg Minard, then the big South African from the Santa Cruz Syndicate, teammate of Laurie Greenland. This man, more experience than anybody out there. He's 8.7 back. There's a drop that he guinea pigged a couple of years ago, pioneered it.
Yeah, and it was even way gnarlier back then when he did it for the first time.
Flat tire, I guess, because he slides so hard at the back there at the end of the last wood section.
Yeah, 9.1 back for Minard, so heading towards it.
Because he drifts so hard, and I don't see Greg Minard losing the grip that easy.
Told us earlier in the week that it's the challenge of this sport that he loves most, and there's no track as challenging as this one. Minard down the line with a 4:20.4, 17th, so 8.7 back.
No flat tire, but he lost the grip. I was thinking he had the flat, and he lost the grip in the grass there.
Well, look at the gear. Matt Walker's just pushed out the start hut to get the bike moving ahead of that tricky rock section for Madison Saracen factory team, the UK national champion.
Yeah, interesting one this year. We've talked about Matt all year. One of those riders that I feel like can win any race at any time. He's a World Cup overall champion. Had a hard time putting it together so far this year, but having a couple of strong rides here late in the season.
A bit like Finn Isles in a lot of ways, in that once it starts clicking, no one will be surprised about it.
Yeah, they kind of ride pretty similar too, which is funny, but yeah, I don't know what happened yesterday. He looked pretty disappointed when he crossed the finish line in qualifying. He started pretty strong at the top of the track and then just seemed to kind of lose a bit towards the bottom.
5.6 back at the fourth then, nearly 60 kilometers an hour through the speed trap in this elite men's semi-final at the UCI World Cup finals here in Mont-Sainte-Anne. From Walker crosses the line in 12th. It's still Gaëtan Vige, fastest by half a second.
What a ride for Gaëtan Vige.
Yeah, that time I would guess is probably going to hold up in that top 10 potentially for finals.
Dylan Levesque, another one of those young riders making a big name for himself this season. Teammates of Cabiru and the Scott Factory downhill team. You can see drive through that right-hander.
He's doing better and better too, and when he get confident, Dylan, like, so impressed. Yesterday, try couple new lines there. 8 seconds back on split number 4, 58 almost kilometers an hour. You must be so tired after all those practice and two runs today in a totally different condition. Now, it's going to take a lot of energy today.
Yeah, tricky one. You need to get yourself into finals, but the big run is still to come, so you got to try to manage that somehow.
Hartenstern then, 31st in the drop zone. Next up, Bernard Kerr, then Silva, then Stack, Williams, Danny Hart. The big names are on the way. But this man, we know, when the conditions get loose, when they get wet, comes into his own. Bernard Kerr on track for Pivot Factory Racing.
Yeah, definitely one of those riders that could have a huge run here later this afternoon.
That looked fast through there. He's 0.6 of a second outside that time of Vige. Now it's 3/10, so Bernard Kerr going to work here in Mont-Sainte-Anne.
Yeah, one of the few riders, seems like every time it rains and everybody's stressed out, Bernard's always like, I'm excited.
Yeah, they tend to be from the UK, those riders, as well, weirdly enough. Bernard Kerr heading down towards the finish line then. Looks pretty relaxed, doesn't it?
Definitely cruising.
Yeah, you can see it. Just saving that energy.
Goes fastest, though, by 1/10 of a second. That'll work for Bernard.
And cruising down.
All right.
Dante Silva, Canyon Collective Factory team.
Another one of the local boys in California. Been riding with a lot. Dante's been strong here, too. He had a really good ride yesterday in qualifying. I think it was 15th here last year. Incredible result. Seems to be one of those tracks he always kind of puts it together at.
He's had some big smashes along the way this year, hasn't he? But it never dents. We talk about Seth Sherlock as well.
Yep.
It never seems to dent the positivity, does it?
Totally. Yeah, every time you see him, he's always smiling, always happy. Really like this kid.
Great to see he's found a way home for himself as well at Canyon Collective, fitting in there 8 seconds back though at 4. So Silva, he's got work to do, but great work from Bernard Kerr.
Yeah, the most impressive thing from Bernard Kerr, he was just like so relaxed, like not even trying, and wow. I like about Dante Silva, like you say, like such a nice guy, he's always happy, he's just stoked. You put him on the bike, he's smiling.
Well, crosses the line at 18. What do you reckon that bubble's developing into then, Aaron? That time we're looking for?
Yeah, maybe somewhere around there, I'd guess, a little behind.
Thomas Stack for Commensal IC Studio.
One of the fast guy as well, like Iniguez. I always look at them at practice just because. Oh! Almost lost the front there.
Front of the bike trying to get out from underneath him. Yeah, one of those riders that we always say he's comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah, seems to always excel on those gnarly tracks, Val de Sol, and those real crazy tracks. Seems like he's always so strong. Really cool style on the bike too.
6.4 seconds back. It's funny, isn't it? Commensal, the mock-off squad, we joked about Dylan Maples fitting right in there and being a rider cut from the same cloth as their other pros. Commensal IC Studio, they have a lot of wild men on that team as well.
Yep.
Yeah. It was way in the inside there, it was in the grass.
Yeah, I like that.
A Stack down towards the line, crosses it in 17th, so 7 seconds back, so 4:18. McDowell drops. Next up, Jordan Williams.
Definitely flat.
Here is Jordan Williams in for Specialized Gravity. Won the opening race of the year in Lenzerheide, Switzerland at the first time of asking as an elite.
I love talking to him too, because he says he's never pushing or trying. He's in qualification or in practice, and he looked like just for racing.
I asked his mechanic Nathan yesterday, do you guys have a wet setup that you'll move to? He said, no, we're from the UK. Our setup is the wet setup. But again, not overthinking it.
Yeah, I mean, keep it simple. You know, you're a kid, you're learning, you're getting experience. A lot of this is just going to come with time. You know, I think if you can keep things simple and familiar, I think that goes a long ways. Just focus on the tracks and the riding.
Laurent Delorme, the team manager down there at Specialized, he said that from the start. That's why Jordan was on the older bike. He said, we know more about that bike. We can help him more with it. We don't want to give him a prototype bike and mess with his head too much. Williams crosses the line in 30th there, 12.2 back. So, Britt McDonald in the drop zone in 31st. Here's Danny Hart though, and we should have a swear box in here for any time we mention Danny Hart in wet conditions. But
yeah, this guy definitely knows how to ride when the rain starts coming down. Some of the most legendary runs of all time in the rain.
Yeah, absolutely mesmerizing on the bike in the wet. Maybe not quite wet enough up there for him as we saw earlier on, but he's a 10th of a second and touch it to me.
Yep, one of those guys I think later today, if he really puts it down. Danny's had a lot of really good results here in St. Anne. He's barely squeezed me out for the win a couple years ago, which I wasn't happy about. Always finds a way here when the conditions turn like this. I
like the fact you haven't held on to it though.
Yeah,
that's big of you.
I've totally forgot about it.
Goes first!
Fastest time for Danny Hart, 0.2 of a second. So he's putting that treatment on somebody else today, Aaron.
Yep, bit of confidence for him, always good too.
Dakota Norton for intense factory racing then. Well, Aaron, you always say that he gets better as the track goes on. There's not many places that can offer as much track to play with as this place.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know that, you know, he would 100% prefer these conditions. I think he'd probably prefer if it was dry, but definitely capable. We had a little chat in the pits before we left, and I think it was kind of treat this as a practice run just to get some experience, feel the track up for later.
Oh, what? He in-clipped? Like, did he get it?
It sounded like he hit something big, but hopefully the bike held together.
Did he get a mechanical there in that corner? No.
Yeah,
no.
What?
He had the foot out. Sideways, the bike was like scoping like that.
Maybe just caught out by those bone dry woods. Haven't been out in the rain for a bit, but whoa! Look at the exit speed of that left-hander.
Yeah, I would expect if he can, you know, kind of feel the track out this run, make some tire decisions. You see him doing stuff here that's looking easy. It is not easy to do that.
Nathan Ponvian.
Yeah, that's the line from the junior.
Again, camera not doing it justice. That's such a pull across there. Norton.
Yeah. First race that Dakota's actually been protected all the way into finals this year. Oh yeah, and he's actually in the lead.
He's in the lead by 600ths of a second. We were doing him a disservice.
He didn't realize yesterday he was protected all the way into the finals, being in the top 10 of the series overall this year yet. And he was very excited when we told him that, because semis have been stressful all year.
Well, it's nice it's going through for him, that lead. You know, you can see it's a lot more happy.
That pull across there on takeoff. Dakota Norton taking flight here in Mont-Sainte-Anne, nearly 60 kilometers an hour.
That's the highest speed so far.
Yeah, I think he's got what it takes to win later today. I mean, you can see it in this run. I know just from watching him, he's kind of having a cruisy one here. You had that big mistake up there and definitely gave away some time, and still in touch.
Cruisy. That looks like cruisy to you.
Yeah, yes. I mean, that's just kind of how Dakota rides. He just has such a smooth style on the bike. It looks like he's not trying. He's always hitting everything just right. Such a talented rider.
He never looks rushed, does he? He never looks sort of like, he just looks like he's got time, even if the bike's going in the opposite direction.
That's the perfect way to put it. I always feel like when I'm riding, I need to charge into everything wide open. Dakota will take a little outside line or do something to set something up.
Oh, nicely done there.
Yeah,
didn't go too deep there either. Nails it.
Yeah,
he's in the green. It's back in the green.
0.6. So Dakota Norton, the real deal in 2023.
Definitely clicking for him lately. So good. I mean, it's showing just his normal speed, the speed he always had.
Yeah, he is this guy now. We've had some discussions about this. Like, dude, it's not surprising that you're on the podium anymore. Like, this is where you belong. Just get used to it. And you can kind of see this starting to happen every weekend for him.
Dakota Norton heads towards the finals with the fastest time so far in the semis. Kaya Hearn, NS Bikes UR team. Just noticed a couple of racers looking at it, they're sort of spinning up as they leave the start hut a wee bit, so it's obviously quite damp up there yet.
In practice, it passed in front of me on the high speed with half a crank. Just landed, snapped. Oh, I mean, it's brutal for the material here. Like, not only for the wheels and tires, just for everything.
And we talked about it earlier as well. A lot of the teams in these big flyaway races, they don't have the spares packages that they do for the bulk of the season in Europe. It's things can, the van can get pretty empty quite quickly.
Yeah, there's a lot of bargaining going on in the pits the last few days. People switching wheels or swapping tires, or all kinds of parts exchanges. Everybody's kind of running out of spare parts here.
Different line there. You see, he didn't keep the inside. It went straight in the middle.
Kaya Hearn.
I don't know if it was in purpose, but looked good to me.
Yeah, I don't know what happened at the top of the track. I've been really impressed with Kai's speed the last few weeks, this last half of the season. He had an issue in snowshoe last week. I think he crashed in semis or something. He didn't make it to finals, but one of those guys that's looked really good on track the last month.
He's dirty on the left. He crashed.
Yeah.
He crashed.
9.7
If he can put one together, I've been, like I said, very impressed with his speed. Looking really good. Just got to get those timed runs down, and I think he could be up there towards the front.
Well, really interesting. You saw from that last shot the way he bent himself around that tree.
There's a limit there. You see, he tried to keep the inside. His front wheel didn't want to deal with it.
Does the big gap.
Clean. That was really nice.
He's impressive.
Yeah, it's weird this mountain too, the way the rain and the storms kind of roll through here. You could see it this run, kind of dry at the top, raining in the middle, dry at the bottom. Like, you kind of go through different weather as you work your way down the track. A lot of times it'll be rainy and fully in the clouds at the top and the sun's out at the bottom.
It's always kind of done that, hasn't it?
Yeah.
There's always one or two shots if it's raining that look wetter than others, and just such a big hill, I guess.
Yeah, kind of right on the water here too, so the way the storms roll through is definitely pretty unique for a lot of races.
Well, Walker drops. Luke Meyer-Smith next on the bubble in 30th. Remy Therion knows this place as well as anyone does as the rain continues to fall further up. That looks like it's moved back in, but it won't bother this man. He loves the conditions difficult.
If he's on his game, he's for sure he was on green at the top because he's so spectacular. I don't know if you guys remember in Palarinsar, the old track, he was doing lines, even in Leogang, that no one was doing.
Almost out the front door there, Therion.
Oh, he's fast.
Shifted the weight backwards, not hanging around.
You don't have time.
Yep. Yeah, it's impressive too, because it looked like the rain was coming down at the top hard, and we've seen all day so far, and he was still green. Oh, man. Smashing.
How did he find that little slot to change direction there?
Inside right there too. That was a good line in the dry, but in the wet, man, fair play. That's a hard one to stick.
Yeah, we talked with Greg, like, that line in inside, like, hard to take in the beginning, but wow, in the dry, but in the wet, wow.
Yeah, you're basically just turning across off cambers. Lots of curb rocks in there, gets the huck.
Wow, nicely done on that step down. 1.3 back for Remy Therion on the split number 3, 56.3 kilometers an hour. He lost more time on split number 4.
I think aside from the rain today, the one thing you could have put safe money on this weekend was that Therion was doing that gap, wasn't he?
Yeah, like Cedric said, I think that's the first thing I remember. Every time I think of him, I just remember him blowing by me when I was standing on the side of the track in Andorra in the rain, trying to figure out how to get down the main line, and he went 5 feet off the main line through the grass, and I'm like, how do you trust the bike to stick in that? It was crazy.
10th place for Remy Therion then, 5th in Nunaville-Peyragu earlier in the season. Lucas Shaw, though, one of those riders that could just do it today in these treacherous conditions in Mont-Sainte-Anne.
So close in snowshoe as well with that big crash. If he stand up a little bit faster, maybe we have that in our pocket.
That was crazy. One of the riders I think that could have potentially won it last week had that big crash, like Cedric said, and still actually put in a really good result.
Well, he's in touch here, 800ths of a second. Shaw at the second split, motoring.
To explain a little bit, Aaron now is not riding always on the side of the track. When I walk, he's having his phone on his hand, calculating time, lines, and everything. Then,
yep, trying to provide that value where I can. But yeah,
I love
Luca's
that
one of
Lucas
those.
Shaw style when he just opens the knees up in the corner. And
Such a good style. So good on the pedals. Looks like he's snapping the cranks off. He's one of those riders, really strong. I think he'll probably struggle less than a lot of riders will today with doing 2 runs on this track back to back. He's definitely got the fitness thing figured out.
Within a second, so the current top 3, Norton, Hart, Bernard Kerr.
Definite line here. You see inside it went all the way down to the steep chute on the rock and get that right. It's like two rocks making a little bit of a berm. Kind of safety line for, you know, kind of safety line.
Well, we've had 7 rounds and 7 elite men's winners this year so far in downhill, 58 kilometers an hour. Lucas Shaw is making a case here to be in amongst them, but it's 1.9 now, the gap at split 4.
2 hard pedal outside that wood section, and after you see stand up and just, you know, try to save some energy for this afternoon.
Yeah, he's a super smart rider, Luca. He kind of knows, you know, that risk versus reward down here deep in the run when you know you're on a pretty good one. You know, just get it across the finish line, get it in the finals.
Throws a couple of cranks at it then. Lucas Shaw down over the line in 7th as Neron, the rider who got us underway. That time held up really, really well. Drops in 31st. Jackson Goldstone, though, another title contender, leaves the Star Hut for the Santa Cruz Syndicate.
Yeah, this is a guy that I would imagine will be completely all in for finals later, trying to get that win. He's got a shot at the championship today. He's going to need a little bit of help.
If he wins today and Bruni finishes 8th for worse.
Oh, yeah. Way up.
5th or worse.
What?
Yeah,
he can take it. 4.2 seconds at the second split.
And he's playing, look. No.
Yep, the boy is here. He's got the 13 on the number plate. I love it. One of my favorite numbers.
Jackson Goldstone, the Canadian, has home field advantage here in Mont-Sainte-Anne for the last round and fancies taking an overall title home with him to the West Coast.
What? I don't know. Where did he find the grip?
Time, 4.6.
Inside line again.
Yeah, had one of the most impressive saves I've ever seen in practice yesterday through that section.
He does have him.
Just rode the nose for about 15 feet. The crowd applauded. He stopped, took a bow. It's just thankful to be alive.
Do we know he have another run to do? Because the way he's riding right now, he probably thinks he's in the final.
Maybe they don't tell him, Cedric. Maybe that's a massive gap.
Oh, gets the full backside past the rocks. Yeah, he's making it look easy.
5.4 seconds faster for Jackson Goldstone in the semi-finals of the UCI World Cup finals here at Mont-Sainte-Anne, the Canadian rider, in with a chance of a title today, and he's doing everything in his power to make it straightforward.
I think this is a good move. I mean, he needs a mistake out of Loic and Loris later today. Set the bar high here and put the pressure on.
All he can do is ride his own race. Let's see what it says at the bottom. 5.7 ahead of Dakota Norton.
What?
Look at that.
But did he unleash the beast too early?
Loris Vergier. What is he going to do? So Vergier, second in the overall at the minute, needs a win, and for Bruni to finish 3rd or worse today.
Yeah, but already at the top, he don't look as comfortable as Jackson was doing. Like you can see, it's 2 different levels right there.
Do you think
it's Vergier.
Does this look more like a chiller to you, Aaron, or?
Hard to say. I know Loris is an extremely smart rider. He always makes it look easy.
5.4 back at the second split, so...
At the top it was obvious.
Yeah, could definitely be one of those guys saving a little for later. I think he's been... I saw an interview with him yesterday. It sounds like he's not completely comfortable here yet. I know Loris will figure it out as he goes. I think he also had a crash this morning in practice. I saw a bit of dirt on his leg and his jersey when he rolled through the finish line, but I mean, you can never count this dude out when it comes to finals. He's going to give you your best. Same as all these top guys. Loic's that way. They can look like they're struggling all week and then just find a way to get it done when it counts.
Loris Vergier always dancing on the bike as well, you know, when it's getting complicated. Inside line here again too. Look like it's a good line.
His footwork, Cedric, is just incredible, isn't it? The feet just stay exactly where he needs them to be. There's little dabs of pedals here and there.
Exactly. It's all about timing. You know exactly where to place those hard pedals. Keeping the inside here.
5th in quali yesterday, so no points for semi-finals today. So maybe Loris Vergier just keeping the powder dry for finals, unlike Jackson Goldstone, who seemed to just empty all the powder out and set fire to it.
Yeah, interesting to see what's going to happen here. It's interesting looking at his bike. It looks a little stiff. I'm wondering if you know, if he maybe is just riding the full dry setup, and I don't know, maybe it's just me, but kind of looks like it was a little deflecty in those rocks. Maybe he'll be able to make some changes. This run for a lot of these guys is going to kind of feel it out. It's the first time they've ridden the track in the wet all week. Go back, make some changes for finals, and then get ready to throw it down.
Vergier down over the line in 7th then. Well, Aaron, thank you very much for joining us. More from Aaron Gwynn later on this afternoon. Ethan Craig then from the UK, and if we talk about future stars of this sport, my goodness, this man has been great this year, Cedric, hasn't he?
Just a big treat, I love it. Really hard, you know, like, he looked fast to me here, like, sorry, I get focused. Oh, he got the inside line there in the rock. That's so hard to take even in the dry.
That looked really, really good from Craig there.
I hope it pay off because that line's so hard to get there.
6th in Pala and Andorra, then 8th in Ludenville-Peyragu, then 9th in Snowshoe. Ethan Craig's a top 10 rider and he's faster than Jackson Goldstone at the minute.
I'm happy I still have some good eyes.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the eyes.
The rest is horrible. Why double that too?
Does the Pont-Vian double in the middle.
There we go, you get the name, the Pont-Vian gap.
The Pont-Vian pool.
Yeah, the pool.
Oh, but on clip there, scruffy through that bit for Craig.
Yeah, it's so hard to clip after that too because, you know, you need to get on pedals and reset because now it's high speed. He lost some time, 2.5, sprint number 2.
Yeah, there was a mistake in there though, but reminds me actually a lot of Joe Smith, Welshman.
Okay.
Just cool, calm, collected. He's just done something absolutely ridiculous on the side of the track. He pulls up, you talk to him, how are you? Yeah, I'm okay, I'm fine.
Wow, that's big landing there. You can see full-on bottom out, front and rear.
The speed down there, 57 kilometers an hour.
Just like crazy. And on the kind of greasy surface as well. It's not like it's full-on bone dry.
Yeah, you talked earlier on the weekend about how you need to cover the brakes as well because you can't ask...
Oh, lost it there, unclipped, saved it.
And cracks on now.
Wow.
Well, that's what it takes in international downhill racing. You've got to have those moments, but then you've also got to recover from them. Ethan Craig pulls out.
Big there. Oh my
goodness.
Wow.
Goldstone, Norton, Hart away at fastest so far at the minute, but Ethan Craig's got lines up there, you know.
I didn't know it was the line there. He gapped the whole thing. And again. He spent more time in the air than on the ground.
Whoa, Ethan Craig. 4.6 seconds, but as I say, if he can get this to line and into the finals, then he's got lines and he's got creativity that we've not seen from anyone else.
Definitely. I mean,
and
we
that
saw
says something at a World Cup, doesn't it?
Exactly. We saw the best rider in the world before him, like Jackson as well.
Yeah, plenty of people talking about where he'll be riding next season. George Ethan Craig down towards the line. Second by 5 seconds off that time of Jackson Goldstone. Next up, though.
That means a lot, though. There we go, another one.
Andreas Kolb, Continental Atherton, one of the riders. Right in the mix this weekend.
Sorry, I saw that line no one took, like way in the inside on a double drop.
I called Kolb in our predictions, Cedric, only based on two things. The first was he went past us on track during practice like a microwave off the top of a block of flats. Like, he was going unbelievably quickly. And secondly, it's pretty straightforward for him, isn't it? Everyone can get caught up in the title. Andreas Kolb just wants a second UCI World Cup win.
Yeah, he just won another win. He got the one at home. Let's go. It's end of the season. You want to get it. And he's in touch on sprint number 1. And he had everything, you know, to be able to champ today. Wow!
Kolb!
Save that! The tree's hurt. Sure.
Huge save from Kolb. He is protected, so he can have those moments.
I want to see the replay on that. He saved it, and full grip into the tree.
There's going to be a lot more leaves down in that corner after Andreas Kolb rattled that tree.
Wow, the tree. We need a...
Yeah, we need to see that one again, but Andreas Kolb.
We need a doctor for the tree, though.
Get a tree surgeon up there. Andreas Kolb for Continental Atherton. So we know he's been in trouble in that really steep, but it's not actually unlike Val di Sole Trentino. Through there as he heads towards the Stevie Smith drop.
Yeah, he's not pushing as hard anymore. I mean,
clever riding. Yeah, he doesn't need to.
Yeah, he can ride. He can ride fast, but looks like just take this ride for study. He'll land really deep there.
What a year though Continental Atherton have had. Rachel Atherton at the start of the year, back in the races, winning them. Andy Kolb won that race in Leoganga's home race. Charlie Hatton won the UCI World Championships at home in Fort William.
I would be curious, who have the best tires for today? Is there like, you know, it's how many manufacturer? 3 or 4? Even maybe a little bit more, but like really competitive, maybe 4?
Yeah.
I would love to know who have the best tire for today, because it's a little bit of a halfway, and you have rocks and roots and soft patch and...
Josh Carlson just sent us a video up from the bottom, and there's 2 or 3 very different tires, all of them full of just this dusty sort of dirt that's getting stuck to the tires. It's really, really difficult. There's not enough moisture on the track to clear them, but at the same time there's enough dry moisture to stick to them. 11.7 seconds back, nearly 60 kilometers an hour.
That's the fastest we saw today.
So another man that we know has got more in the tank for finals.
Definitely, we will see some big shows this afternoon.
I don't feel like we're any closer to knowing just who's going to play what cards this afternoon in this semi-finals. 4 riders going for the win. Menard, Blenkinsop drops in the 31st then. Here we go.
What?
Look at the strength.
Straight.
The strength Andreas Koebler lost to keep the front wheel pointing the way it was going. Troy Brosnan then, second fastest in qualifying. Brosnan.
Oh, looking good, but you never know if it's clean or quick, because for me it looks fast, but it looks clean as well. Then maybe the clean is fast, or I don't know. It looks clean to me and quick.
Yeah, Brosnan, a frustrating season in many ways. He's had good results, but not a win. But there you go, Cedric. Your eyes again don't deceive you. 0.4 of a second.
Whoa. He's in, well, different line. You see, when I saw this line in practice, Loic was doing it so good. And it's a little rod gap, like small, but you're on the braking area and you have to lift the bike and gap it and corner straight after that. I mean, it's a lot of things in one time.
It's a lot of things to keep a track of. Let's see what the next split says for Troy Brosnan then.
Lost some time.
3 seconds back. I couldn't see where though.
Well, I mean, the wood section we was talking about with Miriam and Gwen, the new wood section, it's really tight, and where we saw the big impact of Kolb. And I mean, if he had trouble, I mean, we're talking about Troy Brosnan, probably one rider we can ride. Doesn't matter the trail in the world, he will be there. He's so skilled.
Look at the beautiful colors here in Quebec. 57.1 kilometers an hour through the speed trap for Brosnan. That's fast.
That's fast because he's a lot lighter than Kolb.
Yeah, exactly. Troy Brosnan, an absolutely unbelievable power-to-weight ratio for the Australian.
So amazing on the bike, the way he's riding. Look at his body position. Oh, look at the work of the suspension. Outside line and inside. He opened up. Whoa,
whoa, whoa, whoa.
Whoa, you see when he started to hit the back brake. Oh!
Brosnan, big moment there off the rocks. Back axle of that canyon, stepping out. He manages to get a Gallard back up again. Shoots his way out of the woods.
Only Troy can save that. Wow, he was sideways, almost 90 degrees.
Well, this one could spell trouble for Greg Menard. He mightn't qualify here if Troy Brosnan or Loic Bruni beat his time.
3.9, 5.8 now for Troy back. Split number 4.
I mean, we say it every week, but he's just great to watch, isn't he, Brosnan? Just absolutely superb.
And
bike rider.
It's a mix of like a kind of BMX style and
aggression and finesse of touch. Troy Brosnan heading down towards the line then. What's he going to stop the clock at? He goes 4th with a 5.8 back off that time at Goldstone. So still 4th fastest for Brosnan. By no means a disaster. Punches the air.
Yes.
Here we go.
Again, we see he slipped out the gate for Loic Bruni. What is happening at the start?
Loic Bruni closing in on the title. Spins the wheels on the way out of the start hut.
Too much power. Oh, double down, a step down there.
We've seen an incredible run from Jackson Goldstone to go fastest in this semi-final so far. What is the man who's got the overall points leader's jersey going to show us of his hand? The Professor, Loic Bruni.
I like that name, the Professor.
Well, everything's just, he factors everything in, everything's perfect. He does all the calculations, he knows exactly what to say into a camera, who it's going to affect, who's going to hear it, where the speed is on the track, where speed that no one else can find. Crucially, that's the secret of downhill.
He's quick because Bruni, when he look like this, there we go.
There you go. 1/10 of a second faster for Bruni now as he heads down through the woods. Had that big crash in Snowshoe, West Virginia.
Nice double there before that right bend. Tear off. He's
pulls
cruising.
it, tear off, sat down Bruni, 155 beats per minute.
You see the way he did it? Just like sit down, reach for...
Yeah, not in a rush at all. I thought he'd had a problem somewhere, but Bruni...
No, it's not final yet. Wow, look at the way the bike is sticking to the ground as well.
Look how dry it is in there as well.
Whoa! You see that? He just enter in the beginning of the corner and use the berm to just set up all the corner coming in, but it's a big off camber there.
If he wins later on in the finals, there's no one can catch him.
Wow, that's going to be critical. I want to see his line now. Is he going to double in?
If he comes second in the finals later on this afternoon, no one can catch him.
You see that? The way he took the inside. Everyone tried to open before that bend. He just went in inside. No problem.
It's third place today where things get tricky for Bruni. Does the Pont Vian pull. Heads through there.
You see the guy does like, wow.
Yeah, Bruni giving the crowd their money's worth this afternoon in the Elite Men's semi-finals. The fastest 30 plus any protected riders outside of that will go through. So
lost
Cedric,
some time. He lost some time on the wood section number 2.
But yeah, like Bruni, as we said, the professor, one of the cleverest riders out there. He'll be using this semi-finals run to just get a feel for the track and what it's doing. It looks like the conditions have swung back the other way, Cedric, now. Looking a lot drier.
I guess, yeah, but I guess that's why he lost some time on the wood number 1 and 2 both together.
60 kilometers an hour for Lloyd Bruni.
He destroyed that rock.
Yeah, well, there's no more rock there anyway.
Oh, it's gone.
Bruni.
Yeah, lost some time in the technical parts, maybe saving it for the final. Being smart, like you say, the professor know what they have to do to get to win. Inside line here.
Inside line with confidence, like Bruni.
So tight to that tree and blue pad.
He's never looked in trouble at all through here.
2.4 still in contact, but I think he's not giving everything that you know. You have a final run today, you have to deliver.
And we know he changes things up between semi-finals, doesn't do the big gap.
Nope.
So he does change things up between a semi-final and a final run. I just wonder if somebody's going to show him that run of Ethan Crakes and go, there's a couple of lines up there, like 4.3 seconds back, pulls another tear off in absolutely no rush at all.
4.3 back. He probably knows that Loris as well had the cruising run. You think? They're friends. They're probably, I don't know, because he's not even trying, but he's still like 4 seconds.
Not even trying, but he's riding his push bike at 60 kilometers an hour down the side of a mountain. Like Bruni, crosses the line, sits down just to send the signal. Well, that was a cruiser. Third place, still good enough for that. Dooley drops, the vest makes it through. Jackson Goldstone, though.
Well, look at Troy, look at Bruni. He cruised down.
Look at the smile from Loris Vergier too. The two
mates.
Riders going for, 2 of the 4 going for the title today. This one is also in amongst them, and he's just gone fastest. Jackson Goldstone on the number 13 plate. Cedric loves it.
Yeah, because I was so scared. So someone give me 13, I'm not racing.
Well, Jackson Goldstone.
Wow. He knew too.
He knew it, yeah. But how much more can he give in the finals?
Did he deliver a little bit too early?
There's a few races you'd say maybe with that, but Jackson is not one of them.
Oh, insane.
The reserves of talent that young man has. There he is with Lloyd Bruni.
It's almost funny to say because that's a new generation.
Crucially, Cedric, though, the big names going for the title, all through to the finals, trouble-free. And here's how they finish the semis. Ethan Crakes second behind Jackson Goldstone, then Bruni, Norton, Brosnan, Hart, Kerr, Vigier, Isles and Vergier. Then Piron, Shaw, Cruz, Penne, Palazzari, Tyrion, Maples, O'Callaghan, Richie Rudin 19th. Jacob Dixon, big run for him in 20th. Then Kolb, who is protected. Vidal, Walker, Dunn, Atwill, Iniguez, Estac, Remy Meyer-Smith in 28th. Silva, Levesque, Dooley, Menard in 32nd. Blenkinsop, Windmasters, Ahern, Wallace and Neron. Luke Meyer-Smith 38th, Matt Walker 39th, Roger Vieira 40th, Jordan Williams 41st, Brooke McDonald 42nd, Dennis McDowell, Williamson, Malloy, Ollier, Redding, Connolly, Greenland, Edmondson, Lehman, Brannigan, Fearon, Breeden. Fearon did so well to save that rear flat off the last drop. Meek, Irvin, Davis, Jewett, Chapelet, Hogan Villa. Lemeyer did not start. Well, there you have it. More questions than answers ahead of the elite men's finals.
Look at the replay.
But look how aggressively Jackson Goldstone set about this track here in Mont-Sainte-Anne. One as a junior here, hasn't raced a lot here. Not a baller to him.
So good timing on everything. He's on point. Wow.
It's like it's his local track, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like he knows it back
home.
of his hand. But managed to get the job done for the Santa Cruz Syndicate today. Fastest in the semi-final. Let's take a look at what the schedule is for the rest of the weekend. Here is that schedule then. Elite women's final, 7 p.m. Central European time. Then it's the elite men from 8 o'clock. Tomorrow, all about cross-country Olympic men under 23 at 3 o'clock. Then the elites on track from 7. We'll see you there.
Our sport travels the world, searching for the planet's toughest racetracks.
Oh, he's going for it.
Des vitesses impressionnantes dans les Alpes.
Is he on the run of his life?
Vertical descents lined with roots in the Dolomites.
No room for mistakes today.
Des secteurs avec des pierres pouvant casser votre vélo aux États-Unis.
Oh, how did he save that?
But there's one track that stands above them all.
Depuis plus de 3 décennies, la Coupe du Monde fait son pèlerinage ici au Québec, dans son temple de la vitesse.
Mont-Sainte-Anne. Only the very, very fastest win here.
Seuls les courageux s'en sortent et les légendes perdurent.
This is where champions come to be crowned.
C'est à Mont-Sainte-Anne pour la dernière manche de l'année.